Oxfordshire. The White Horse is also home to the village of Uffington. Uffington may appear sleepy now, but it once played its own small part in the Industrial Revolution. Built in the mid-19th century, this engine house is the only building left of what was once part of a vibrant brickmaking manufacturer. Tim and Emma Verdon, together with their 3 children, Lucy, Edward and Georgina, have a vision to restore this derelict monument of our industrial past into a dream home. At the moment, they live in rented accommodation, which comes with Tim's job as a bursar at an independent school. And being passionate about their 4 horses, the engine house's 6 acres was an added attraction.
Yeah, I stumbled across it in the local paper, in the back of the local paper. As soon as we climbed over the gate, we just thought this was the place for us.
It's not a 10-year fix, it's not a 20-year fix. It's a, it's a long term, it's
Forever.
a 50 or a 100-year fix.
We've bought all this with every single penny we have.
We think this is our dream home, don't we?
It's perfect. It's just what we wanted.
Using the money from the sale of their previous house, Tim and Emma bought this building and the land for £365,000. They hope to get a mortgage of a further £220,000 to complete the work. I know that every building has a story to tell, and if Tim and Emma can understand that history, it may shape their restoration journey.
Hi, George.
Look at all your crew.
Hi,
Emma, how are you? Nice to meet you.
well,
Tim.
thanks.
How are you? You well?
Yes.
Good, I like this bit of slave labour on a building site. It's always
yeah.
nice and cheap on a build.
Yes.
Certainly
they're
is.
very enthusiastic for about 5 minutes.
If you can get them to do anything at all.
And it looks like you've bought a bit of brickwork, and that's about it.
Very sound Victorian brickwork. We had a structural engineer look at it, and the foundations are really good. Clearly the downside, it doesn't have a roof.
Yeah, which is quite a big issue.
Yes.
Really?
Yes, it is. But
Staring
at
the
least
obvious.
it's got walls.
So, the big question, how long?
Well, hopefully we'll be in by the Easter holidays, but it might not be till the summer.
Right.
But we, if we get a few rooms done in the house, we could certainly move in.
What's your budget?
We have got available about 220,000, but that's for the house and for the carport and for the fencing and the garden and,
Services and the
everything.
footpaths.
Yeah.
There's a lot.
Every whole bang
Everything,
sheet.
yeah.
Should we go and have a look at the building?
Yes.
I'm
let's.
dying to see it.
Since the brickworks closed in 1923, the engine house has been used as an agricultural barn and comes with a footprint of 2,100 square feet. When Tim and Emma bought it, it had 2 rooms with planning permission to build a single-storey extension.
Oh, this is fantastic.
Do you
This
like
is
the
brilliant.
designer thistles?
Internal garden.
Yeah, I think you should keep this. I think it's fine.
The house with no roof. Plenty of light.
But it's lovely and warm and sunny inside.
It won't be for long when the miserable winter kicks in.
And this strange floor, which did it extend any further? Well, that's as far as it went, and it's got it's got a couple of timbers that one on top of each other. So whatever was up there was pretty strong.
I want to get up there actually.
You can climb up on the
We've
bricks
got
the
a
other
little,
side.
um,
But
yeah.
the wall in front of you might fall down, but we put and then a foot up there, and then you might have to.
Well, it's brilliant. Oh, that wobbles. The brickwork then wobbles.
Which I'm holding together.
That entire wall wobbles. And then even the timber bracing, which is helping support the gable at the end, that wobbles as well.
Which is why we need to get the roof on pretty quick.
You need to get the roof on bloody quick.
Although now just a shell, for me, Tim and Emma's engine house holds many mysteries.
What is of really great interest is the fact there's a little eyebrow above the top here,
Yeah.
which has been broken, but we found these in the rubble that we were clearing out.
Fantastic.
So there's 3 bits of eyebrow that we could
So you can get them back in.
stick
I think
back
we
somehow.
might be able to get them back in.
And it's the way they've done that, the rounded corners of the brick. This is a more modern, sand and cement there, but lime mortar corners like that. With
And
the
then the
little,
corner up here,
Yeah.
they've sort of taken that edge off.
Yeah, no, what I'm amazed about on buildings like this, something that's got a kind of engineering or industrial or agricultural past, the level of thought that goes into crafting all of those
Yeah.
tiny little things,
Yeah.
tiny little
Yeah.
details that make a very simple building sing.
As an architect, what I love about restoration is piecing together a building's history.
This plot that Emma and Tim have bought probably had many other buildings on it. I'm keen to unravel the history of this brickyard to find out how it actually operated and who it supplied bricks to. Like many stately homes that had their own clay pits, the Uffington Brickworks was built by the Earls of Craven in the 1840s to produce bricks to build their own buildings on their estates.
But by the late 19th century, this yard, like many owned by stately homes, had turned into a thriving business to meet the demand to build more and more houses. On my journey into the archives, I want to find out about how that demand grew and what it was like to work here. Although the engine house is of historic interest, it's not a listed building. Therefore, Tim and Emma have some flexibility with the planners. I'm intrigued to know about their plans. Tim and Emma already have some ideas of how they want their house to be. Downstairs, they want to build a double extension to incorporate a living room. They also want to have a large kitchen, family room, and a vaulted dining room. But I think they're not making the best use of the space available.
I was just wondering whether there was any opportunity for the dining hall space to move over to here and the loo to move over to the utility room, so all your drainage was in one position. So the diagram, if you don't mind me drawing on it, the diagram quite simply is family room here is one space, then you've got utility room, toilet and drainage. This is kind of wet area stuff, drainage stuff.
Yeah.
That's your family room, and then in the diagram just becomes this is kind of kitchen, whether it's kitchen, dining, breakfast or kitchen, breakfast.
So, taking Tim and Emma's plans for downstairs, this is what I'd do instead. I'd put the utility room and cloakroom alongside each other, opening up the kitchen to make it into a combined dining room as well. This means that important room will get light from 3 sides of the house.
The whole central zone of that diagram becomes the kind of, it serves the house.
Yeah.
It's corridors, hallways, staircase, utility room, toilets.
All the things that don't matter so
All
much.
the stuff that doesn't matter goes into the centre of the plan. And then around the edges of the plan, you really enjoy the spaces that get the best views and the best natural light.
I like that idea because until you mentioned it, actually, of course that's the way we want to look. We want to look over the land that we own.
Upstairs, they're trying to squeeze in 5 bedrooms and 2 bathrooms. But I've really altered things. By changing the position of the stairs and putting in a central corridor, it means that the master bedroom and guest room each gain an ensuite. Also, the other 3 bedrooms for their children are now all together.
What do you think?
Fantastic. I think there's some really great ideas there, aren't there? And I
Really
think,
good ideas, yeah, because we've got quite stale thinking about it so much, and it's great to see another angle, I think, on it. Well done.
You know, I've done it once or twice before.
Yeah, that's great.
Before they even start, Tim and Emma have a major problem. To meet the bank's demands before they grant a mortgage of £220,000, they've got to hit a 6-week deadline to get the roof on and make the building watertight. But they only have £25,000 of savings to do the work, and no roof means no mortgage.
If it's wind and watertight, then we can meet the criteria for the mortgage, and then we can go and start on everything else we need to.
But that's more than 25 grand.
Yes.
Yes.
I can tell you now.
Yes.
So what are you going to do?
We're put a second-class stamp on the cheque.
You've got to get that roof on under very tight financial constraints to then release that money from the bank to carry on.
Yes, we have.
And if the bad weather kicks in before that, it's even worse.
Yeah.
To cut costs, Tim and Emma hope to do a lot of the preparation work themselves. They've even bought a digger for 12 grand rather than hiring one.
Some people are 2-car families. We're a 1-car family with a digger.
Tim and Emma have also made another daring economic decision. While Tim will continue to work as a bursar, Emma has left her job as a school teacher and taken the risky step to project manage the entire build.
Well, I think it'd be quite fun. I'm sure it'll surprise me how difficult it'll be, but, you know, I've got Tim there. He's a good support.
Yeah. You will get there, but the journey there can be
Pretty horrific.
painful.
Yeah. Be interesting what I say in 9 months' time, won't it? Be tearing my hair out saying, I'm not ever doing this again!
I'm absolutely fascinated by the history of this building and what it was actually used for. And I'm amazed by how brave this family are, to be honest, in taking something like this on. But the next few months are going to be unbelievably difficult for them, with a massive amount of pressure to get it wind and watertight and raise the finance that they really need. It's a big worry.
In June 2010, Tim and Emma Verdon bought this 19th century building, along with 6 acres of prime Oxfordshire countryside, for £365,000. It's an engine house, and the only remaining structure of what was once a vibrant brickmaking works. They plan to turn this building into a family home, but with their savings of £25,000 nearly gone, they have a problem. They need to raise a mortgage of £220,000 to complete the rebuild. But the bank won't release the money until they put a roof on, and they only have 6 weeks to meet the deadline. If they miss that, they'll have to start the whole difficult process of getting a mortgage again. They couldn't have started at a worse time. With winter coming on fast, Tim and Emma are racing against the clock. They both know that no roof means no mortgage.
Morning, Tim.
Morning.
Emma, how are you?
Very well,
Good
thanks.
to see you.
Good to see you
The
too.
sun's shining.
I know, it's lovely. It's a
For
lovely
once.
day. Yeah.
Good morning.
Hello, mate. How's
Hi,
things?
good, thanks.
You
Yeah,
all right?
yeah, it was better with the sun.
You've got the roof on.
I know.
Yes.
It's fantastic.
Well, got the felt on.
That's all you
to
needed,
start.
though, wasn't it? To
Yes.
keep the bank
Yes, it
happy?
was.
Yep,
Ki- the-
yep.
The bank are very happy.
Just how close were you in terms of time into missing your mortgage?
The mortgage offer was going to run out the following Wednesday, and we got the mortgage on the Tuesday.
Wow.
So it was.
You
it
were
was a
cutting
bit-
it very fine.
Yeah. It was a bit
Unbelievably fine.
close to the bone.
Having got the mortgage by the skin of their teeth, there's another big problem. It's with the slate tiles for their roof.
So what's the plan with the slates? When are they actually going on top?
Well, we took a slate, an example slate to the planners last week.
So when do you hear back?
8 weeks.
You're kidding
It's going
me.
to take 8 weeks for them to make a decision.
That puts you into January.
Puts us
Yes.
far too late down the line, and we're thinking of being a bit revolutionary, aren't we?
We're going to take a gamble and start putting slates on the roof.
Big risk.
It is a big risk.
The problem is, if you go ahead and do it and they don't like it, they'll make you take it off.
And for some reason, Tim and Emma still haven't submitted the plans I changed for them back in September.
This is a massive, massive problem because you're on site,
Yeah.
you've got guys on here,
Yeah.
but you've got a pre-planning inquiry in for the amendments on the design. You've got
Yeah.
no feedback on it and you've got no date of when that's going to come back. Even when that does come back, you've got to put in the formal application for the amendments.
Yeah.
And that'll take a minimum 8 weeks anyway. And you haven't got a decision on the slate for the roof from them either.
Yeah, yeah. It's not a very satisfactory situation at all.
The pace of this build is going really well, but my biggest worry at this stage is they haven't got all their planning permissions sorted out. And there's a chance that unless they do that very quickly, this build could grind to a halt. With Tim and Emma facing the huge problems of getting planning for their brick house, as the grandson of a builder, I'm really keen to know as much as possible about the history of bricks themselves. The Romans brought bricks to the UK about 2,000 years ago. But the problem is, when the Romans left, they took their brick-making skills with them. So for the next 700 years, us Brits were used to living in houses made of timber, or if you were lucky to live in some sort of castle, it might be made out of hand-carved stone. But my studies have discovered that all that changed in the early 16th century when one particular king decided to build himself a palace.
Hampton Court was turned into a palace by Henry VIII in 1528, and it's one of the finest examples of early brickwork in Britain. I've come to meet the curator of historic buildings, Kent Rawlinson, to find out more about the evolution of building in brick.
It's like a pattern book in some ways, isn't it, for bricks? Because you see all the fantastic textures, the different periods, the different ages.
It's all about showing off your status. So you're partly showing off your status by the size, partly by the material, brick itself, and then partly by just the detail. And the chimneys here all show, for example, that you've got fireplaces that you can heat with coal. So it's all about money and showing off.
150 years after Henry VIII, William III asked Christopher Wren to demolish Hampton Court and rebuild it. Luckily, there was no money, so instead Wren decided to celebrate bricks and build the royal apartments on the east side of the palace.
He uses 3 different types of brickwork to demonstrate the 3 different statuses of the floors in this building. So on the ground floor, you've got this very sort of purpley dark brickwork, which when you get up close is quite sort of rough. Yeah. And then on the first floor, where the royal apartments are, you've got this very, very fine, high quality, sharp, bright red brickwork. And then above that, something that's a bit in between the two. And that sort of reflects the fact that you've got the royalty on the first floor, you've got some kitchens and offices, but some sort of smaller royal apartments on the ground floor, and then courtiers right at the top. So it makes the building read much more dramatically.
So the use of the brickwork itself as a reflection of status?
Yeah, so in the 16th century, you've just got one brick for everywhere, and here you've got different bricks telling you different stories.
To appreciate the sheer scale and beauty of Hampton Court, Ken takes me to a particular place that very few people get to experience.
So this is a view that not many people must get?
No, it's just magnificent, I think. You get to see how Hampton Court sits within its estate, with the huge parks out to one side and the Thames sort of looping round the whole thing of Palace and Park. You start to see the fact that we've got millions of bricks at Hampton Court. So something like 26 million bricks are used by, well, sort of documented by Henry VIII's builders. And each one of those is being made by hand.
The landscape, this strip, is just all brickwork, isn't it? Building, brickwork, all the way around.
Yeah. What I always find magical is the way that with about 16 million of those bricks being made on site, and partly from clay that is being dug out of the park here, you have Hampton Court sort of rising out of the ground on which it stands.
Architecture, landscape, absolutely connected with each other.
This is what Tim and Emma's engine house and Hampton Court have in common. They both evolved from their local clay. Back on site, the day that Tim and Emma have been waiting for has arrived. They're meeting local planning officer Mike Gilbert. If they can convince him to accept their plans, they can get the go-ahead to tile the roof and start work on the main building.
I think so. It's a momentous day, we think. There's going to be some decisions made which hopefully are in our favour.
Morning, Tim.
Thanks for coming out to see us.
Okay. Nice to meet you.
Very kind of you. Oh, it's a bit less frosty than it has been.
Morning.
So, is the restoration sympathetic to the building's history? Is the proposed extension agreeable? And are the roof tiles acceptable?
I think from the local authority's point of view, the most important issue is to ensure that the building's original character is retained. Mm-hmm. Although you're suggesting moving the extension from one side to the other in principle, I think that's fine. To my mind, a concern is the size. The changes you're proposing here as a whole, because you are moving the extension and making other alterations, it will need a fresh planning permission.
As I told them, they're going to have to fully resubmit their plans. But what about the roof tiles?
It's a good quality, natural slate, absolutely fine.
And so you're happy?
Happy with that, absolutely.
That's great.
If they are changing the approved plans, it depends on the extent of the changes, but very often it will need a fresh planning permission. The principal concern being retaining the character of the original building.
There is a big paradox in the planners' views about existing buildings. They want you to retain as many, if not all, the originality of that building. But that is balanced between the fact that actually, you know, if it wasn't for people like ourselves, this building would be no more. You know, it was pretty close to falling down. We didn't know how close it was to falling down until we actually started rebuilding.
And we've saved the building, haven't we?
Yeah.
To add to their troubles, 3 weeks later, thieves break in, and this has highlighted a major problem. The building is in an isolated rural position. As they live more than an hour's drive away, this means the engine house is left alone for long periods of time.
Someone's got into the house and has cut all the electrical wires. We feel really cross about it, don't we? It's really annoying, you know, because you put a lot of effort into all this work, and then it's kind of undone in one evening.
Unbelievably, 4 weeks later it happens again. With their property unsecure, the build running behind schedule, planning permission still not granted, and the finances beginning to run out, Tim and Emma have reached a crisis point.
We are getting quite close up to where the builders want to be, and therefore we're actually saying to them, stop for a bit, reducing their workforce by 50%.
With almost everything going against them, our two restoration warriors have got a vital decision to make. Should they move in and finish the work themselves? Tim and Emma Verdon bought this derelict 19th century building with 6 acres of land in Oxfordshire for £365,000. The building was once the engine house of a brickmaking works and has been derelict for nearly 100 years. As it's not a listed building, it doesn't have strict planning regulations. But ever since they started work on it, they've been tangled up in the frustrating process of getting their designs accepted by the local planning department.
So the last time that I came to see Tim and Emma, it was unbelievably frustrating. They hadn't got their planning application submitted. They hadn't really ticked all the boxes that you need to do to be able to move forward on a build, but they were still pushing as quickly as possible on site. And the danger there is that you catch yourself out. You stumble over yourself because the build is moving faster than the bureaucratic process. And if you do that, you're asking for trouble. So hopefully today they've got things back on track.
Morning.
The tiles are on.
Yeah.
Don't have to admit. You must have planning.
They
Have you got planning?
Yes, we have, yeah.
Thank God for that.
I know.
That's brilliant.
It took a bit of time, but we got there in the end.
Planning just for the tiles or for everything?
No.
Just for the tiles.
Just the tiles?
Yeah.
Well, that's a start. And you've got the Velux skylights in, and you've got solar panels on the roof as well. Have you got planning for those?
It's a bit of a grey area, really. It's sort of
Planning's
not
never
a no.
grey. Planning's never grey. It's either yes or no. That's the planning system. That sounds like you haven't for all of it.
Not quite.
We've asked, and they
We've
know
asked.
about it, but we haven't been given it yet.
I don't disagree with anything you're saying. I think it's all brilliant. It's moral, it's good, it's eco, it's sustainable. I think it looks fine. But when you haven't got planning, it's a big risk, because they can make you take them down.
The solar panels are only part of the problem. 2 months ago, when Tim and Emma met with planning officer Mike Gilbert, he stressed that for him to accept the changes they'd made, they had to resubmit a full new application.
Because you are moving the extension and making other alterations, it will need a fresh planning permission. So you will need to submit a fresh application.
Eventually, they did send in a new set of plans, but there's another issue.
We followed the advice of the planning officer that came to see us on site, did exactly what he said on the drawing and put that in, but they won't accept the application.
Why?
We had a letter last week, didn't we? So it's taken them a month to reply and tell us that they're not happy with our application, that we've ticked the wrong box on something.
Despite not having planning, Tim and Emma have made another drastic decision.
We probably intend to move in within 2 or 3 weeks, don't we? Or so.
2 to 3 weeks?
Yeah.
2 to 3 weeks?
We've done a lot inside.
How are you going to move in 2 to 3? I haven't seen the inside, but bloody hell, it would be one of the fastest builds I've ever seen if it's ready to move in 2 to 3 weeks.
Well, it will be slightly camping, but you know, we'll be all right. I've started painting.
Really?
Yeah.
Come on, I want to have a look. I've got to see what this is like inside. 2 to 3 weeks. 2 to 3 weeks. But you're going to be absolutely roughing it. I mean, when you say move in, are you talking about getting rid of the rental place you're in now?
Yeah.
Move all your gear,
Yeah.
move all your stuff in.
Yeah.
You are going to move into this house. And if you got hot water, is that all
Not
up
hot
and
water.
running?
No,
Not
no
yet.
hot water yet. But I might be heating hot water on the stove.
There's going to be a
here.
finish about there.
This all needs going.
Yep.
This is bathroom, isn't it?
Yeah.
Honestly, where do you see even this first floor being in 3 weeks, if that's when you're going to move in? What state is it going to be in, seriously?
Well, I think we'll do as best we can, but we are going to be slightly camping.
This genuinely is bonkers. I commend them for wanting to move in and to push the build forward and get it done as quickly as possible, but if you move in too quickly, it's unbelievably disruptive. The builders can't crack on properly, they're always worried about the client being on site, and it's really uncomfortable for them and their kids at the same time. And like the planning, it's one of those things that could just quite easily trip them up, cost them more time and more money.
But restoration is not just about bricks and mortar, it's also about understanding how history shapes a building. Uffington Brickworks, which was built in the 1840s to serve only the Craven estate, soon began supplying bricks to other builders because of the huge expansion of building that happened throughout Oxfordshire in the 19th century. As this clamour for bricks grew, small brickyards like Uffington became small businesses with tenant brickmakers, employing workers to churn out thousands of handmade bricks a week. To help me find out what life was like in a brickyard like Tim and Emma's, I've come to a traditional brickmakers in Suffolk. My research tells me that brickmaking was a closed community, and like today's corner shop, to make the businesses work, families often employed their children to do the menial jobs. To help me understand what it was really like for those children, I've come to meet Oxford University historian Professor Jane Humphreys.
What would life have been like for children working in something like this in the 1800s?
In the 1851 census, brickmaking was a top 20 job for boys, and something like maybe between 20 and 30,000 children were employed on the brickyards.
And what would life have actually been like on a day-to-day for them?
Well, it's a very hard job. Yeah, I mean, just look at this material. I mean, just look at it. Ugh. Can you imagine putting 25 pounds worth of this on your head and then carrying a big lump equally heavy in your arms?
So, Jim, what roles would these kids have had at what age in the brickworks?
Well, if you look here, you can see the labour process and you can see what roles children would have had, because this chap is doing the role of the grown-up here. And then these wet bricks, ooh, yes, you've got to...
They're heavy.
Younger children would be carrying those.
Wet clay formed into that shape,
Yeah.
very dense. What sort of
maybe
age would the
9
kids
pounds, maybe weight.
be? And the kids would be how old?
Maybe 8, 9. We've got children as young as 5 recorded working.
What sort of hours would those kids have been doing each day?
Oh, dawn to dusk, 6 to 6, because they're working with the grown-ups, so they would have to have worked the same hours as the grown-ups.
So is there any evidence of kids working at Uffington?
Well, we've actually looked at the mid-Victorian censuses for Uffington, and there is evidence of child workers in your brickyard there.
God, I find that quite tragic, actually, thinking that actually they would have been working so hard here and having to stack so many bricks out there.
Well, George, it's recorded in black and white.
So this is on the kilns, which is incredible, actually.
Another job for children would have been staying up all night to make sure the fires stayed on.
So the kids would have to do like all-nighters, basically, lifting the coal into place.
Well,
and
I
keeping
think
the fires
all-nighters just to make sure things stayed okay.
Even though this place really gives you an idea of what the processes were like, it doesn't really give you an idea of the conditions, does it?
No, I think it's a much sanitised and cleaned up version of your small-scale Uffington.
And who would have employed these kids?
Very often the children were employed by their own parents or by other grown-ups to help them, so that you couldn't then prosecute the master brickmaker, because he would simply say, oh, well, it's the parents who bring them to work, I just employ the parents.
That's quite crafty, isn't it?
And you can see it reflected in the third world today, where, you know, in China and in India, children are a very significant presence on building sites, for example.
And none of that's regulated either, is it?
No, and brickmaking is a big job for children in the third world.
So 140 years later, what was happening in Britain could now be happening all through India and China.
Indeed.
So it would seem that the brutal process of industrialisation in the developing world continues to exploit children. Having decided to move into the engine house, Tim has made another cost-cutting decision.
Well, I think the most important thing to let you know is I've given up work.
No way.
Yeah.
Why?
To work on here.
I hate to be Mr. Practical, but what about loss of income?
Actually, going through the figures, it's cheaper for me to be one of the labourers and to take out the costs of the builder's profit.
So you're offsetting your income and your job, which you've lost, against the money that you could potentially save on the build by doing more yourself.
Absolutely, yeah.
We've moved the children, so they've started a new school beginning of January, and they're very, very happy.
You've taken the leap, really, haven't you?
Which is why we need to move here now. So, you know, and then all the jigsaw puzzle will all fit together, won't it? And we just keep working on the house during the week.
Work has now cranked up a notch, The builders are racing against the clock to get the basics ready for the family to move in. But to give Tim and Emma a break from the build, I've taken the family to a traditional brickmaking workshop at the Blists Hill Museum in the Iron Bridge Gorge. I want them to meet master brickmaker Tony Mugridge to see if he can help in their search for the missing eyebrow bricks which are needed above their windows.
Okay guys, come on in. Meet Tony. Tony, this is the Verdon family.
How do you do?
An invasion of them today.
Hello.
We've actually got this little piece of brick here. This little brick eyebrow, which we've really struggled to find from any reclamation yard. And we were hoping that would help us make them.
Yeah,
Is that possible?
Yeah, there's no trouble at all. You can even match the colour. Won't be trouble at all.
We just love to be able to have them reproduced.
It's what they call a bullnose brick, and what they've done is hand carved it to this shape. You can see here it's very dark, and this is where it's caught the weather. So when I make these bricks, they will be that colour. But all you do is just wash them down. Do you know this? You wash them down with sour milk, and they will age. They will age in about 3 weeks. Most buildings to do with brickworks are an advert of the works. They'd have all their latest product. Everything, if they made different colour bricks would be in it, and so it looked really gorgeous when it was first built.
Fantastic.
I like to see old bricks like this because the brick will tell you everything about how it was made.
I think what's so fascinating is that you can just have this one brick, this one material, and the more you look at it and the more you analyse, the more it tells the story of the history of this building.
That's just it. If you were actually employed by me, which was illegal, okay, but if you were, I'd only show you once, and after that, you'd have to make them right, and if you didn't make them right, I'd dock it off your money. So you get less money. Not that I'd be paying you, I'd be paying your parents.
Look at that.
Yeah,
You've made a brick for your house. How cool is that?
Very exciting, and it's a really good feel, isn't it?
Yeah,
It's a really good
fantastic.
feel.
It's lovely to think that we're putting a bit of our efforts into it and to keep it going for many hundreds of years, hopefully, to come.
True to their word, 8 months after they began their restoration project, Tim and Emma have moved into the engine house and started working on it themselves. So I'm curious to see how they're coping with living as a family on a building site.
Look at the furniture arrangement. You can't live like that.
It's actually really nice having our own stuff here.
And you've started laying a few of the bricks in here?
Yeah, and then we stopped.
And then stopped. Why?
Well, because if we'd laid the floor, then we wouldn't have been able to walk on it for 2 days.
You do realise it's a builder's nightmare. When the client moves in on site, it is a builder's nightmare. And what's wrong to you then? Well, hello, Emma. What's this? A little makeshift.
Our makeshift kitchen.
First floor kitchen.
Well, it's because all the sockets work up here, so we really, it's a lot easier if we've got the fridge and kettle and toaster and microwave, and we've got no hot water.
Right. Okay.
I mean, we've been living here for a month now, haven't we, without any hot water? So that's quite testing at times, but it's not too bad. We've only had 4 nights without a bath since we've been here, so we've done quite well. We've just boiled water up on the stove downstairs and brought it up in saucepans.
Upstairs, like cauldrons.
And then we all literally, one jumps in the bath
stairs?
and the next one jumps in the bath, and so we share water. So by the time I get in, after everybody else has been in, it's a bit brown, a bit murky, the water.
I say black,
But it's
You've got everything all across the windowsill. You've got your pirate ships.
Were you happy when
Yes.
things came out of storage?
So happy I cried.
Oh, did you? Did you really? What an incredible family. Unbelievable. They just crack on. No matter what's thrown at them, they just get on with it. And when they moved into that building, I thought they were mad. And in some respects, they are a bit mad, but it was the right move. They're in there, the kids have got a greater sense of space, the kids have got their toys and their personal belongings back.
But if they don't get that planning permission through, it could all start to unravel very quickly. After 8 months of building, Tim and Emma Verdon, along with their 3 children, 4 horses and a dog, have moved into their 19th century brickworks engine house. But it's not that easy. The builders are still on site and they're having to live out of a couple of bedrooms.
We've been living here for a month now, haven't we, without any hot water.
And Tim has given up his job to help.
It's cheaper for me to be one of the labourers and to take out the costs of the builder's profit.
But they still don't have planning permission, and if that doesn't happen, the solar panels will have to be taken off the roof and most of their work will have gone to waste.
It's amazing the hoops that you have to jump through to please the planners and try and get it right, really.
Today's a red letter day for the family. It's eldest daughter Lucy's 10th birthday and the first family celebration they'll have in their new house. But when Emma goes to collect the eagerly awaited post, she finds something extra among the cards.
Wow, that was good.
Shall we open it? Gosh, we've been waiting a long time for this. I hope it's good news. Okay, please find and close planning permission relating to the above development. And
To include...
hang on, the extension of the former engine house to former dwelling, to include the relocation of approved extension to north end of south elevation, erection of porch and solar panels. That's really good, isn't it?
The ramifications of what would have happened if they had not got the planning permission dawns on them.
We would have had to have altered upstairs, so because the stairs would have been in the wrong place.
And rooms were in the wrong place.
All the rooms would have been in the wrong place. Can you imagine having to sort of tear all that down and then restart again?
Fired with the renewed energy, Tim and Emma, with the help of Edward, are now going at full speed to get their home finished. What excites me about restoration, even for a small shell of a building like this, is unravelling its history. And I think now, after visiting the Brickyard in Suffolk and the Ironworks Museum, I think I can at least show what Tim and Emma's Brickyard would have looked like in the 19th century. So the clay pit is over here. Kids would have been lifting that clay out of the ground, carrying it by hand, over to a kind of conveyor belt, if you like. And that kind of rickety deck that I stood on that wobbled on my first ever visit is the area where the clay would have been fed into a kind of mixing device that would have been powered by a very powerful traction engine. From there, once that clay was in the right consistency, it would have gone over to the brickmaking desks and put into moulds, each individual brick made by hand. Then taken outside, dried for a period of time, then into the kilns to be baked. Once they were absolutely finished and ready, they'd be then delivered to site by two means. One, the railway, two, the canal. Sadly, after World War I, small brickworks like Uffington, unable to compete with mass-produced bricks, ended. But thankfully, so did child labour, as social reform and legislation brought in 1933 made it illegal to employ children under the age of 13. However, its legacy lives on. If you look anywhere within a 20-mile radius, there are dozens of red brick buildings and houses, many made from Uffington clay. Just over a year ago, Tim and Emma Verdon began work to turn their derelict engine house into a dream home. Today, I've come to see what they've achieved.
I'm always intrigued on these final days whether the project is actually finished. As you can see, there's a little bit of landscaping to be done. The garage and carport isn't finished. And it looks to me like there might not be a house extension. Morning, how are you? So good to see you. Been a while. Oh, look, you're looking all very smart, mister. Hello, you. It's like an army today.
Hi,
hello,
George. How are you?
Nice to see you.
Yeah, nice to see you too.
Hi, George, good to see you.
Are you done in there? Is it finished?
Yes.
Come on, let's go in. Do you mind if I have a look?
Come on in.
Can I take my coat off? Is it warm enough? You've got heating and everything?
Got the fire on?
Yeah, fire's on.
The first area I want to see is the kitchen diner. Last year, it looked like this. Today, it's stunning.
Wow, look at that. It's fantastic. I love the kitchen. Marble's beautiful.
Yeah,
look at that.
Marbles.
They've got the same marble at Harrods.
Oh, really?
Yes.
You've gone very posh, have you?
The deli counter.
Super posh. And what I'm really pleased is that when we redesigned the space, We made it all one room. You've got a view out the front, the side, back to the entrance and the back. Such a hard slog to get to this stage. It's incredible, really.
But it has been very rewarding, and I think we have such a tingling feeling when we get up in the morning and certainly come downstairs and then come into here.
It's lovely. And this table was my grandmother's, so I remember sitting around this table when I was little.
What do you think of it, kids?
It's amazing.
Before work began, the front door opened onto nothing but weeds. Today, that nothing has been transformed into an elegant hallway.
This looks great. These were reclaimed bricks, yeah? Did you clean these up?
Yeah.
Good work.
They all came out of the building.
I mean, these are literally part of the landscape. They've come out of the clay pit, they've been made here, produced here, shaped here, and then you've reused them.
And what was once just the end of an empty shell is now the family living room.
Wow, look at this. It's lovely, isn't it? Oh. Now that is one snug, warm living room, isn't it?
Do you like our reclaimed beam? This is one of the beams that you were leaping about on.
Thankfully I didn't break it, because it looks brilliant. You've just reused bricks and timber very nicely in parts of the home, just so it reflects its history. Do you want to see your bedrooms?
Yes.
Come on, let's go and see your rooms. I'm dying to see them.
This building was once open to the skies. But now Tim and Emma have taken on board my ideas and have created 3 children's bedrooms down the end of the corridor. The children also have a bathroom and shower just for themselves. At the other end of the house is Tim and Emma's master bedroom, complete with a smart ensuite bathroom. Inside, the house is almost finished, but outside it's work in progress. The garage, which will have space for 2 cars, a kitchen area and upstairs office, should be ready in a couple of months. But Tim and Emma have not yet started on the house extension. Estimated to cost £20,000, they hope to start work early next year. However, one small restoration project which I've been really interested in has been completed. Those missing eyebrow bricks that took so long to research and find are now finally back in place where they belong. Tim and Emma are not quite ready to say their restoration project is finished, but they have turned the engine house into the family home of their dreams. As I've travelled with them on their journey, I want them to know about this building's extraordinary past, and as custodians of the building, they can keep that history alive for future generations.
Well, I've got a little present for you. The old engine house book. There's a picture of what it used to be like.
Oh my word. Oh my God. Look at that.
And then, the very beginning. Who are these cheeky kids standing everywhere?
Oh, those are brilliant.
Are they tight shut?
And to bring to life how their brickyard looked in the 19th century, I've got them a very special gift.
Oh wow. Look
And it's
at
basically
that.
what it used to be like.
Oh my word. Look at that. Oh look.
Hey! All over the stone floor.
Well, it's been sealed.
Thank God it's been sealed, otherwise I would have been in big trouble.
Oh, look at that.
Cheers, everyone. Here's to a fantastic build and an amazing family project. You did it. Well done.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Thanks, George.
When I first came here, there was nothing more than 4 very abandoned and ruinous brick walls. But actually what we've uncovered is a site of huge and fascinating industrial heritage. It really has a rich social story behind it. And Tim and Emma have saved this building. They've battled against planning, against huge financial pressure, and they've even had to learn to build at the same time to realise their dream home. What I love about this building is its modesty. It's not grand, but it's been beautifully crafted, reusing those industrial materials. And because it's been a family build, they've made their mark on history.
All over the UK, thousands of historic buildings lie forgotten and neglected, often tangled up with red tape or abandoned by owners who cannot afford the repairs. Some of these are in danger of being lost forever. English Heritage's Buildings at Risk Register has over 1,000 buildings of outstanding architectural interest that are literally falling down, waiting for people like you to turn them into homes.
You sit there at home and you look at the TV and you think, I could do that.
I dream about the house every night.
It definitely took a lot of blood, sweat and tears to get the planning permission.
In this series, you're going to see people breathing new life into derelict water towers, engine houses, windmills and churches. As an architect, I'm passionate about our architectural heritage. And I want to help these restoration warriors on their journeys as they reclaim, recycle and make these buildings useful again. Every structure has its own unique history, which I know will help guide these intrepid restorers.
The house with no roof.
We just knew it was a building that just deserved to be saved.
But their labours of love can come at a huge personal price, both financially
If something goes wrong, we lose everything.
and emotionally.
He's always working at night and at weekends. He's always working. He lives his life stressed.
When you take on a listed building, you're taking on a responsibility. You become its guardian to pass on to future generations.
We'll be able to stand back and point to the grandkids and say, blood, sweat and tears, we converted it into that house.
I hope I can bring my vision and expertise to help these restoration warriors realise their dreams. I'm here in Kingston, near Canterbury in Kent. For as long as records have existed, Kent has been known as the Garden of England. Fruit, vegetables and hops for the brewing of beer have flourished in its rich, fertile soil. But it's not just these crops that have blossomed. Wheat has always been the major harvest, and where there's wheat, there are mills. Thought to have been built in the early 1820s, this wind-powered mill, known as Reed's Mill, was one of over thousands that were working in Britain by the mid-19th century. But by the end of World War I, only 350 remained. Today, Peter and Nikki Fagg have a vision to bring this Georgian monument out of retirement to become a family home.
The plot of land has been in the family for the best part of 100 years, and it's just stood there as a sort of a monument in the middle of our lives.
About 4 years ago, out of the blue completely, I was diagnosed with cervical cancer, and it's through insurance and paying our mortgage off up north. It's put us in a position where we could actually afford to do this, which before it's always been a dream that we've wanted to do it.
And it would just be a travesty if we didn't actually manage to keep it in the family.
Life just doesn't really get any better than this, quite honestly, not for me anyway.
37-year-old IT manager Pete and 31-year-old nurse Nikki are not idle dreamers. Their vision is to restore the old structure while creating something for the 21st century. The tower and its surrounding land of 1 acre has been in the Fagg family for nearly 100 years. To maintain the family heritage, it's been generously passed on to Pete by his parents. After selling their house in Hull for £240,000, Pete and Nikki were left with a clear profit of £175,000, which they'll use to kickstart the build. On top of this, Pete and Nikki are also applying for a £300,000 self-build mortgage, which they'll need once their savings are all spent. These funds will be released in 3 stages as the restoration progresses. To save money, Pete and Nikki have also moved into Pete's parents' house, who live right next door to the mill. Giving themselves 10 months to complete the build, Pete and Nikki are about to embark on the unpredictable but exciting journey of restoration.
We've got to do it, and we will do it, and we'll make it good.
And then live on bread and water for the rest of our lives, probably.
That's right, yes.
Every restoration project has a unique story to tell. I hope I can unravel the history of this building to inspire what Pete and Nikki have taken on.
You must be Pete. Hello there. What a beautiful day for it.
Welcome to
How
our
are you?
humble abode.
Very, very nice to meet you.
Very nice to meet you.
Really good to meet you.
Oh, yeah.
Hi there.
Hello.
Nice to meet Nikki. How are you?
Oh, nice to meet
Nice
you.
to see you well.
Thank you for coming.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you.
It's great to see you. You've got yourself an amazing structure tucked around there, haven't you?
Yes.
We think so. We even had our wedding reception here. So,
Did you?
So we have loads of wedding photos from 9 years ago, stood round the mill. It really is a special building for us.
We can't wait to get up there onto the top of it, and that's something that I've certainly never done. I think Dad might have done once in his childhood, I don't know.
That'd be a very special day, wouldn't it?
I think it will be.
For you to be in the same position as your father was. Shall we go and have a look?
Yeah.
Desperate to see it.
When you go inside this building, you can instantly sense its unique qualities, but it does make you realise just how difficult it will be to turn it into a home.
What a fantastic structure. The great thing about buildings of this form, you never get into those conversations of, is it north facing or south facing? Can I get the light into my kitchen or not?
Very true.
I mean, you've got doorway there, another one there, window up there, window there, window there, window there. So you've got the opportunity here of getting fantastic sunlight in the space.
Yeah.
You know, and obviously it's 360 degrees.
We are putting a proper sort of cap on it to do it justice, hopefully.
And what about putting the sails back on? Is that going to happen or not?
We were in two minds, actually, and fortunately the builders we've chosen are true craftsmen, and they've kind of urged us down the direction of saying, well, you've really got to.
What's your own personal view about restoration and what the style of this place is going to be like when it's done?
I think it's very important for us just to make sure that it maintains its character. That's the fundamental thing. I think
it's a huge thing, isn't it?
Yeah, we haven't got pots of money at all, so we're going to potentially have to actually use some sort of modern techniques to achieve the same result. This is going to be home for us.
The proposed plans for Pete and Nikki's home are divided into 3 distinct parts. The first is the mill itself, which is split into 4 levels. The kitchen is on the ground floor. Up on the first floor there'll be the master bedroom. Connected by a small staircase up to the second floor is the ensuite bathroom. The third floor will be used for storage, and a new traditional Kentish cap will top the mill with wind sails. Alongside will be a new but traditional style Kentish barn, linked to the old mill with a modern glass conservatory. On the ground floor is the entrance, the utility room, a study, and the living and dining rooms. The first floor will have a gallery, a guest bedroom with ensuite, 2 further bedrooms, and a family bathroom. The final part of the build is a separate annex with self-contained guest accommodation and a double garage. This is a really exciting but ambitious project for 2 restoration novices. There are so many architectural challenges on this build, and the biggest they need to resolve is the junction between old and new, how the glass link between the sloping sides of the mill and the barn is going to be achieved.
So what is it you want me to do for you?
We thought we'd save you something easy to look at.
Thanks for that.
If possible, have a look at this transaction between the glazed link and the actual mill tower itself.
Yeah.
Because we've got some really interesting sort of shapes and curves and tilts and angles to deal with there.
You've got the curved form of the mill, you know, to make it look like it's elegant and it's meant to be, and it doesn't look awkward and it's not like it jars. It is probably the most important detail of the whole thing, isn't it, really? It's just a case of making sure we get the materials right for the mill and the finish right and the details right everywhere.
Yes.
Especially that glass going into the mill. I'm really excited about Pete and Nikki's plans for their dream home and how it can help them with the glass link between the mill and the barn. The tricky thing is you've got a conical shape, which is a tapering and circular building with a kind of barn block over here. The glass is the right decision in the first place because it becomes the light, beautiful connection between the 2 blocks, if you like. And it's all about how that meets that. And if it looks too fussy and complicated, it'll be a mess. Being involved in the design has made me even more determined to find out as much as possible of how mills evolved throughout the ages. Now, the first mill in Britain was built in Sussex in 1180 by a bishop who actually gleaned the design from the knights returning from the Crusades in Persia. Now, throughout the Middle Ages, and because of its prime coastal location, Kent became a place absolutely covered in mills. They were built by the church and by wealthy landowners to grind the flour of their estates. And by the early 1800s, Kent had over 230 windmills.
Pete and Nicky's restoration build has begun, but there are already underlying problems. Pete works away from home 3 days a week, and Nicky has just started a new job. And to compound this, the project very nearly didn't happen at all.
Nicky wasn't well 4 years ago now with cancer.
Oh, really?
And we were, it was a very sort of bittersweet thing.
That must have been a difficult time for you.
It was tough, really tough. But you do, I'm lucky to be alive, I'm lucky to be here, and if it hadn't happened, then we wouldn't be in this position to actually even remotely be able to afford to do this.
And are you okay now?
Yeah, really well.
Thank God
really
for that.
well. Yep,
Yeah.
checkups every 6 months, but really well still. So
Yeah, she's back to nagging mode and everything.
For a couple who've got no building experience whatsoever, they've actually set up this project really well. They've got a good design, a good budget, a reasonable timescale, and a really good builder. But what I'm worried about is the fact that Pete is working away for 3 days a week, and Nicky has just accepted a brand new job. And if there's one thing that you need to do to keep control of your builders and your money and everything else, is be on site every single day. And these guys aren't going to be.
In 2010, restoration warriors Pete and Nicky Fagg took on this derelict 19th century Kent windmill. They plan to convert the mill and add a brand new 3-bedroom Kentish barn to realise their dream home for the future.
It's a great day for doing building work. What do you think?
Morning.
How you doing, mate? You all right? Good to see you.
Sir.
You've picked a good weather for it, haven't you?
Oh, it's fantastic.
Miserable.
Isn't it? Yeah, it's not really very pleasant at all.
So it's a big day today, isn't it? Timber frame
It's a big
day.
day. It's timber frame day today, yeah.
So this is where the kind of Meccano set all has to come together. And you've got your garage block up.
Yeah, the garage is
brilliant.
It's getting there. It does look really good, actually. You can't see the tiles, but it's nice reclaimed tiles on the roof there, and they look fab. We're hoping, fingers crossed. This is where the Christmas bit comes in. That actually we might even be in there for Christmas.
You've got 4 weeks, haven't you? 4 weeks till Christmas.
We'll see. If Nicky's got anything to do with it, we'll definitely be in there before Christmas.
It's one of the problems at this time of year, that you want to push as hard as you can, but the reality is you're battling against the elements, aren't you?
Yes.
The builders are cracking on with the new barn, which is being constructed from beautiful oak beams that will form the main structure. Pete's dad proudly watches as this restoration comes to life.
It's nice to see the first timber go up because you've got this big, strong vertical element here, and then you've had nothing.
Yeah,
and it's the first sign of what this new structure is going to look like alongside it.
Everywhere you look, the work is going ahead at incredible speed. The annex and garage are already complete and just need fitting out. But all of this work costs money. I know they started out with £175,000, so I want to know how Pete's finances are holding up.
We're still waiting for an absolute final decision on the mortgage.
Right. So they haven't said yes to it?
They haven't said yes to it, no.
How many pennies have you got in the bank at the minute, if you don't mind me asking?
At the moment, we've got about 75,000 in the bank. We've spent about 100.
100 so far?
Yeah.
You spent 100 grand so far?
Yeah.
So you've spent 100, you've got 75 grand left in the bank. How much more do you need from the mortgage company?
We need as close to 300 as they'll give us. If they don't think we can finish it, they effectively won't give us anything.
When is the money going to run out that you've got left?
We've got 2 or 3 months before we'd have to call a halt here if we haven't arranged something.
It appears that nothing can get Pete down, and his optimism is infectious as he takes me up to the top of the mill for the very first time.
Oh, this is the bit I've been waiting for.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that!
This should be our view.
What a view! Even on a day like today, it's beautiful. So what's going at this level again?
So it's got to have a cap on it, which in Kent is a traditional one, a little bit like an upturned boat, I think.
Yeah, all timber clad.
Yes, all timber clad. We're hoping to put a little wind turbine on the back.
Yes. But I think it's anything that you can get in this building that's ecological, like if you like brings the building to a new age, and rather than it being a kind of, you know, previously an industrial or agricultural piece of architecture, it actually becomes that, you know, an environmental and sustainable piece of architecture in the future, which I think is an amazing thing to do.
That's fantastic.
Even though the weather's been absolutely awful, this build is going really well. The tower itself, for the first time, is very structurally sound. The timber frame started to be built. But to be honest with you, if I was Pete and Nikki, I'd be unbelievably worried about the finances. They've spent 100 grand to date, they've only got 70 grand left in the bank account, and that mortgage offer still hasn't come through.
Every time I visit the mill, my enthusiasm and love of it grows. I'm fascinated by its dominance of the area and intrigued by its history. Neither Pete or his father know anything about when it was built or even who originally owned it, so I'm determined to help them unlock its past. My first port of call is the medieval capital of Kent, Canterbury. Canterbury Cathedral has been on this site for nearly 1,000 years, and you can see why. It's a beautifully constructed architectural masterpiece. Pilgrims have been coming here since the Middle Ages, and the building makes an appearance in Chaucer's Canterbury Tales. But the archive here isn't just about all things ecclesiastical. It also contains a wealth of local history information, which I hope will reveal more about Reed's Mill. Deep within the bowels of this amazing building, I discover a wonderful collection of notes on Pete and Nikki's mill.
So we've got some fantastic information here from a windmill enthusiast called C.P. Davis. Davis's archive is incredible, actually. I mean, the number of windmills that he covered throughout Kent and Sussex and throughout Europe was unbelievable. And he had 200 books just on mills alone. In here we've got some amazing images of the mill. Look at that. Reed's Mill, Kingston. I believe this mill was built on the land leased of Westwood Estate, which was owned by one John Wood. I believe it was built for a Mr. Gouger of Margate. Absolutely brilliant. Mr. Gouger, the first miller of Reed's Mill. Now I'd just like to find out when. This is another note. Kingston Reed Mill, believed to have been built for a Daniel Gouger, so we've got his first name now, Daniel Gouger, later of the Margate Mills, and it was built from before 1824. So we're getting closer. It still doesn't tell us exactly when the mill was built. So what we've got here is a map which is dated 1819. So we've got Canterbury just here, and if we head out to the southeast along the main road, we should come to Kingston. Yep, got it there. There should be a mill symbol, clearly marking Reed's Mill, but there isn't. It's not there. So what that tells us is that this map dated 1819, Reed's Mill wasn't built. But because we've got the proof that Daniel Gouger, the first miller, was there in Reed's Mill of 1824, it gives us that 5-year window. Reed's Mill was built sometime between 1819 and 1824.
Christmas Eve, our mad dog eating snow. Morning, Monty.
Although I've discovered the mill's past, its future for the moment is looking bleak. With the heaviest snow in decades, all work has stopped. This means Pete and Nikki aren't able to move into their temporary home above the garage. But it's Christmas, and a welcome break from the build to relax with family and friends.
Cheers, everyone. Cheers. Happy Christmas. Merry Christmas. Happy mortgages and building.
It's New Year, and thankfully the snow has melted, and work has resumed on the build.
I'm on site just having a quick check around. Unfortunately, Nikki's laid up in bed at the moment. She's not been so well since before Christmas, actually. But hopefully she'll be on the mend soon.
For Pete, this is an important day. Although he's received an acceptance on the next stage of the mortgage, he doesn't know how much it will be.
We're going to run out of equity in February, so the value is here today to actually tell us how much money we can draw down against the mortgage. Our build is just a little bit different because it's a restoration project, so we've got old and we've got new, and the old is actually at third floor level already. The worst case scenario on this is don't get it valued, or they come up with some problem on the it says, well, actually, sorry, no, you're not actually, you don't satisfy tick boxes X, Y and Z.
It's a nail-biting time, waiting for the assessor to make his decision.
The mortgage gent's just gone, really good news, to be honest, that it's actually been valued 100,000 more than we hoped. Quite usefully as well, he looks like he's actually, now he's seen what we're doing and seen sort of that we're actually doing a good job of it. He's actually raised the original final value. So $750,000 is the figure now, which is fantastic.
Having the future funding in place has taken a huge load off Pete's shoulders. Now Pete and Nikki can push ahead and finish the annex, which means they can at last be together in their own space and no longer need to crash at Pete's parents'.
Yes, I think we could do with our space back, particularly with the dogs, around the feet, and at our age, you can easily trip up. So I think, it is time to move over to the garage. So hopefully that won't be too much longer.
We're so close, and I can't wait to move across here and get out from underneath Mum and Dad's feet at the end of the day.
It's spring. Pete and Nikki are nearly ready to move into their annex. I'm really keen to see how things are getting on, but I'm worried. I received a call from Pete saying he has some bad news.
How are you? Could be better. We're in a distinctly difficult situation where Nikki has got a cancer back. So it's kind of turned our worlds upside down just a little tiny bit.
How bad's the cancer?
It's terminal at the end of the day. So we don't know. We've been told that she's not going to last a year, but we don't quite know how long we've actually got. And it's getting more and more difficult, to be honest. The better she looks, the more difficult it is to come to terms with what's actually going to happen. There's nothing we can do about that. What we need to do is just plod on with things and make sure that she gets as much time here as possible. I know Nikki. I know that actually, in my heart of hearts, she's going to surprise everybody, and she's going to, do really well. And I just hope that we have some really good few months, before anything takes any dramatic turns. You can probably see at the moment I'm just dazed, basically. I think I throw myself into just facts and figures, really, and I've sort of had a few little sort of battles and just make sure that everything sort of logically and practically can be dealt with, dealing with the pensions people and such like. But occasionally, or more than occasionally, I have a proper moment. But I don't know. It's just. So.
In 2010, Pete and Nikki Fagg inherited this derelict 19th century Kent windmill. They planned to restore the mill, build a new 3-bedroom Kentish barn and an annex with a double garage. But their plans have been shattered with the tragic news that Nikki has terminal cancer. Understandably, the build is no longer a priority for either of them.
Hello, you.
I've decided to visit Nikki at her parents' home.
Nice to see you. Do you want to tell me what's going on?
Yes. Well, unfortunately, the cancer that we were talking about that had been gone for quite some time seems to have returned with a vengeance. The prognosis is not good, unfortunately. They've sort of given me months rather than years, but, you know, months can be a long time. The build, I've had to take a huge step back from. It provides that level of complication, you know, for Pete. When I'm gone, you know, does he want to live there? Is that what he wants? Will I be in, you know, I don't want to taint a house of memories if he's going to live there with somebody else, you know, in years to come.
You can't think like that. You can't think about you tainting something.
Yeah.
It's you know, the whole reason why he's doing it was because of you and that house and you being there, really. Is.
I really want to be involved because I think there are big bits of the build that are really important that they're kind of passing me by, and I really want to sort of grab it all back in and be part of it all again, be able to interfere a bit more, nag him a bit more.
But time is more important than money at the minute.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Much more.
Yeah.
Much more important.
To see a cap on that mill would just, it'd just be amazing. So yeah, it needs to happen, definitely.
It's spring, and Nikki and Pete have decided to move on site into the newly finished annex apartment above the double garage. For Pete's mum, Sandra, the strain of coping with Nikki's illness and holding the family together is taking its toll.
There's quite a lot going on. I think trying to sort of hold it all together, you know, for everybody is quite difficult.
Pete has found a new hidden strength and has become positive again. He's bought Nikki a special present, something she's always wanted. And if that hasn't taken her breath away, after 4 months of not visiting site, he hopes seeing the mill will lift her spirits.
Oh my goodness. That's it for ages. Crikey. God, it looks so different.
Just a little bit.
I could cry. It's just amazing. Absolutely amazing. You look at the foundations and they look really tiny on the ground, and now it just looks hideously big. You see all the rooms and where things will be, and you get a real picture of how it's going to pan out. It's just...
Are you chuffed?
Yeah.
Chuffed a bit.
More than chuffed.
Yeah.
Beyond my wildest dreams.
Pete and the builders are throwing everything at this project so Nikki can see her dream home.
I don't know how he does it really. He's just there all the time for me when I need him, and there at work when they need him, and I'm in awe of him really, because he's just done such an amazing job here, and he's been so desperate to get it ready for me so that, you know, I can come and stay when, like, for parties and stuff like now. So bless him, I just can't thank him enough. He's just amazing.
In terms of how we decided to proceed after we found out what was going on, we just let the dust settle a little bit and just got our heads around it, checked out the financial situation, which has turned out to be, you know, pretty reasonable at the end of the day. And looking at how Nikki's doing as well, I think we've made the right decision, because we can have what we wanted and we can have that for as long as she's well, which is great.
It's looking amazing. The last time I was here, things were kind of grinding to a halt for very obvious reasons, but looking at it today, it's cracking on. You know, the builder's flying with the main part of the structure. The windmill's looking pretty good as well, to be honest, still got the scaffolding up. But what's happening over here today is they're building the cap, which I think is going to be absolutely beautiful.
All windmills are topped with a cap on which the sails are fitted. As the sails turn, they drive the huge stones which grind the wheat into flour. The cap is able to rotate through 360 degrees, so that whatever direction the wind blows, the sails will always be able to face it. Sadly, Reed's Mill lost its cap in a devastating storm in 1915. A sorry sight for such an iconic building. Replacing the cap will, for Pete, complete its restoration.
It's monstrous, it's huge.
It's a big old
But it's
structure, isn't
looking
it?
really good, and this is only taking shape in the last few days, literally.
This is something that you didn't really want to do, did you? It was the planners that
Originally,
insisted.
No, we didn't want to do it, and because the tower stood like it has been for the last 95 years, and we just thought, why change it completely?
Yeah.
But I have to say, and with Mike's assistance, we've come around to the idea of thinking, well, actually, that's really quite a good investment. What's quite nice is that this has taken a few design twists and turns. Just the price of steel has meant, actually, it's the same cost to do the bulk of the frame in oak as well.
But it's a hell of a bit of structure.
Yeah.
So you're going to have sails on it?
Yes. There will just be a framework. There'll be a fairly substantial framework, but there will be, there will be sails on there as well.
Where's Wonder Woman?
Hello.
My superhero.
How are you doing?
How are you, lovely?
I'm alright. Oh, good to see you.
And you. Really good to see you.
The last time we saw you, it was, I was going to take a step back, but I can't help myself now. Yes, I might not be around as long as I hoped to enjoy it, but man, I'm going to enjoy what time I have in it, and
yeah, definitely.
That's what it's all about now, and not this stupid, I'll take a step back and I won't have anything to do with it, I won't sleep in there and I won't do this. I just needed to get a grip, and I think I finally got that grip again.
So how do you feel about trying to get up to the first floor?
I feel I can probably try it today,
You sure?
so yeah, definitely.
Let's give it a go.
Let's go.
This is a huge step for Nikki.
I think I can take your hand there if you like.
Ever since she was diagnosed with cancer 4 months ago, she's never seen the upstairs of her new home in the barn.
Well done.
It's like climbing a mountain.
It's
I'll
all
just go over there, actually.
You ready?
Yeah.
You okay?
Phew.
Well done.
Thank you.
Take a break
Yeah,
for a second.
just breathe.
Can you give me a hand? I'm just worried about this step. Tiny little steps.
Oh my gosh. Sorry. God, it's just beautiful. Look at that frame. Gosh, it's all plastered and everything up here.
It's quite some room, this one. It's quite some room. And it's just fab.
I'll never come to a building site with you ever again.
There's only good tears, it's not bad tears.
I love this.
Oh my goodness. Oh God.
Come to Mama.
Good gracious, that view. I think you might need to pinch me. Is it really hot?
Yeah, it really is.
There's no doubt about it that this building project has turned a massive corner. There's such a momentum and drive on site. The progress now is absolutely brilliant, and you can feel the buzz for Pete and for Nikki and how much they absolutely love this building project, and they're putting their heart and soul into every single part of it. But what worries me is that housewarming party is still a long way off.
In 2010, Pete and Nikki Fagg started work on this derelict Kent windmill. Their plans to restore the mill and build a brand new 3-bedroom Kentish barn with an annex was shattered with the news that Nikki has terminal cancer. Nikki and Pete's courage and determination to try and see the build through has given them some strength to come to terms with the situation. The historic day when a new 3.5-ton cap and sail is proudly reinstated on the top of the mill has arrived.
Good morning, mate.
Good morning, young man.
How are you?
Yeah,
You all right?
Not so bad.
Good. Big day.
Just a little bit. Isn't
Massive day today.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable. So exciting.
Yeah.
What I like about it, it looks quite contemporary.
Yeah.
Yeah, you've got that slightly modern twist on an old building when it goes on there.
No, I think it's going to be really, really good.
Beautiful. Oh, so you've got a crowd.
Yeah, we've got a tiny little audience there. No pressure for Mike or anything.
Look at you. You look fantastic.
How are you?
Really good. How are you? You all right?
Yeah, not too bad, thank you, not too bad.
Good. So what's it been like getting to this day, the last few weeks?
Quite a trauma, actually, to be honest. Mike and the guys have absolutely pulled out all the stops. So it's Monday today, and they were here Saturday and Sunday to make sure it happened, which is just fantastic. But unfortunately, we've had some news that Nikki's chemo's not been effective, so we've had to draw a halt to that. And it's kind of added the impetus to say, right, let's crack on with it. There will be no delays. And
it's great to see her here today.
Yeah, and she's looking well, to be honest. She's looking a lot better for not being on chemo, to be honest, but it's looking good.
She's looking great.
Yeah.
That's it, just look it on.
What an amazing thing to see, eh? Over 90 years ago, the cap was blown off by the storm, and to be standing here today seeing this being lifted back into place is just incredible. I mean, you just have this incredible sense of history, like you're seeing something important today.
It's a good view from here.
Not that far off. It's got to sit absolutely right on the top of the mill. Perfect. It's unbelievable the way the guys are working today. They're really pulling out the stops as fast as possible to get these sails on, because Nikki's got to leave at 3 o'clock for another little batch of radiotherapy. And everybody on site wants her to see this. We want her to see those 4 sails in place and with the cap on in all its glory, so we're up against it.
So, see what I mean? You needed to come around this side. Oh, wow. It looked good from the other side, but wow.
Watch your heads.
Here we go, here we go.
I think to Pete and Nikki as well, actually.
To everybody.
Come on, if it wasn't for you two, you wouldn't have pulled this off. Yeah. 9 years together, you've done it.
To everybody,
Thanks, guys.
thank you.
Thank you, everybody. Super. Been a great day.
Thank you very much. Right, see you on.
See you later.
Cheers.
Good night.
After being in the family for over 100 years, this iconic building in this landscape has finally been brought back to life by our 2 restoration warriors. Despite all the setbacks, their vision to create a dream home has never left them. Tragically, Nikki never got to see their dream come true. In August, she lost her fight against cancer. It's September 2011, and in memory to Nikki, workers started again on the restoration of the mill. In one of the most complicated parts of the build, the specially designed glass panels are carefully put into place to form the link between the tower and the barn. With work almost completed on site, my attention's been turned to try and find the missing pieces of the puzzle in the history of Reed's Mill. We know that the first miller was Daniel Gouger in 1824, and with the Industrial Revolution sucking thousands of people into the cities, the demand for flour became enormous. Throughout the 19th century, this demand grew, and so did the need for mills. In fact, mills and flour were a great way of making a profit. Now, the next time Reed's Mill pops up on the historic radar is in 1881, when this funny character, Johnny White, a miller, bought it. In 1914, Pete's grandfather bought the mill and the adjoining farm. But the storm of 1915, combined with World War I and the introduction of steam-driven mills, meant that Reed's Mill fell into disuse, but it's remained in Pete's family ever since. This historic building had been abandoned for over 90 years, until Pete's dad decided to let his son breathe new life into it. In September 2010, I met Pete and his wife Nikki as they started out on their quest to convert the family mill into a home. The journey's been incredibly difficult and emotional for all involved, but the restoration is now complete.
The last time I was here was over 5 months ago, the day when the cap was gone on top of the windmill. There's still a fair bit to do. I've been told that the build is completely finished and I can't wait to see that glass link. I think we're going to see something quite special today.
This is a truly exceptional restoration project, where old meets new.
Hello, mate.
Hello, sir.
You all right?
Not too bad. Not so bad.
It looks amazing.
You've got something. Been a bit busy.
I bet you have.
But
from the outside, it looks incredible.
Yeah.
Absolutely beautiful.
It's fantastic.
Look at that.
You cannot do anything but smile when you walk through the door. It's just gorgeous, basically. As well, in my opinion, anyway.
I think it's a fair opinion.
Yeah, I think it's pretty reasonable. Pretty reasonable.
The barn's unique design and use of natural light is really well done.
I love the open plan feel to it.
Yeah.
The way that you've got living here, little desk tucked around the corner there, it's got its own little niche.
Yeah.
And then you come around entrance hallway, dining, wood burner, all linked and connected together. Does it feel like home here?
It's getting there, definitely, because I haven't seen my furniture for 18 months. And it's nice to see it all again, and it just, yeah.
Have you stayed here yet? Or have you literally just moved the stuff in? You haven't stayed in here?
Not quite, no.
This is literally the first day it's been finished?
This is literally the first day it's been finished, yeah.
Love the wood-burning stove.
Oh, it's fab, isn't it?
Love that.
Fab.
The design downstairs is complemented by 3 spacious bedrooms upstairs. Although a new build, the traditional and beautiful workmanship makes you think it's been here for decades. There's no doubt that the new barn works, but it's the glass link to the old mill that I'm really excited about.
And what do you reckon to that then? Is that not just something else?
Speechless.
Yeah. Which is unusual for you.
Which is unusual for me. You're absolutely right. But if there was ever a building, if there was ever a restoration project where old, very old, meets something that wants to be old, that meets something that's undoubtedly new, it's just brilliant. It couldn't work any better. And the challenges that you face to get that glass to meet the curve of the mill while it's sloping at the same time, it was really difficult. It's fantastic.
Having the staircase inside the new glass link saves space and really brings the old and new together.
I love this. You're so close to the mill, you literally just want to hug it. Look at that, you're hugging the building as you walk up it. Magical. Absolutely magical.
What was once just a roofless, derelict shell has been recycled into a unique and beautiful home.
Oh, actually, one thing we forgot to mention was the old brickwork on the outside.
On the first floor is a master bedroom. And above is a new ensuite bathroom.
That is fantastic. What a brilliant, brilliant bathroom.
It's a clever use of space in a room that has curved and tapering walls. Where once was just a pile of rubble and weeds is now a state-of-the-art kitchen.
And what a beautiful kitchen it is. Look at that. Perfect.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
It is.
Perfect.
Pete and Nikki Fagg began an incredible journey of restoration. Sadly, Pete has had to finish it alone. As custodian of the mill, I want him to understand its history so that one day he can pass it on to future generations.
It's an important day, isn't it?
It's a very important day.
Very important day. This building all finished, all done, and you in it. Yeah. I've got something for you. A little gift.
Thank you.
Reed's Windmill book. And this is everyone's journey, really, not just yours.
Yeah.
Probably everyone's journey over the last, what, year and a half?
Yeah.
We've been filming. A bit of history, timeline, which I like. Look at that. Can you believe that?
Yeah.
That's all that was there.
Yeah.
That was a great day.
It was.
I love that shot, actually. Guys up on the mill. And more and more and more about mills. All the old photographs, all the old drawings, and you too. Tell me, got me caught again. But cheers, everyone. Well done for all your hard work. Last but by no means least, a huge cheers to Nikki. To Nikki. Cheers, everyone. Cheers. Pete is just the most amazing guy. He's had the toughest time imaginable. But it's a sign of his integrity and his strength that, along with all the love and support he's had from his family and with a brilliant team of builders behind him, he's managed to turn this old abandoned mill into the most beautiful home. But remember, none of this would have been possible without Nikki. Everyone is heartbroken that she can't be here to celebrate today, but what a legacy she's left behind. Pete has set up a trust in memory of Nikki. If you'd like more information about the trust, or if you're interested in restoration, or any other aspect of the series, please visit channel4.com/restorationman. I'm in the ancient town of Congleton, set in the Cheshire countryside. Since the Middle Ages, this market town has been renowned as a producer of lace and leather goods. But to make them, Congleton needed one very important thing: water. And it's the very reason this impressive structure was built. Constructed in 1881, this Victorian water tower, known as the Forge Lane Water Tower, was at the time state-of-the-art engineering, delivering clean, safe and fresh water to the town. But since larger reservoirs have been built, the tower has played a minor role. Today, 30-year-old architect Andy Critchlow and his partner Anna Ferguson, who works in IT, have a vision to restore this abandoned Victorian monument into their dream home.
We did come and see it once in the snow. We hopped over the fence and just came up and have a look, and it is a really lovely building.
Went straight to the auction, still no real idea whether we were going to buy it, and then probably about half an hour later walked out, phoned Anna and said, we've just bought a water tower.
Yeah, I was taken aback, just concerned about how he was going to fit this all in, whether it was going to actually break him. And the realisation that we were selling our house and moving in with Andy's parents.
Because I've got this obstacle in front of me, I'll give like 100% to it until it's done. Pretty much every day coming from work, we see it on the way into Congleton and just dream of having a G&T on the deck. To me, you know, it's as special as a palace.
Andy and Anna bought this building along with 1 acre of land for £100,000 at auction. After selling their old house, they have a budget of £200,000 to transform this empty shell. On their restoration journey, I'm going to help, advise and encourage them to realise their ambitions.
So I'm on my way to see what is supposed to be the most beautiful Victorian water tower.
The Victorians always gave utilitarian structures like this a sense of grandeur as well as detail. Often our great industrial heritage is neglected, as these buildings seem unsuitable to turn into homes. As an architect, I love challenges like this.
Morning.
Hello. Morning, George.
How are you?
Yeah, very good. You?
Nice to meet you.
Yeah.
How are you? Andy, yeah?
Yeah, I'm Andy.
You all right? How are you? Nice to meet you. How's things?
Not too bad.
Yeah.
Nice, good, yeah.
Good, very good, very good.
You've got yourself an incredible building. Why on earth did you buy this?
Why on earth don't everybody? That's what I've got to say.
And what's amazing is that you've got this next to it. Is this yours as well?
Unfortunately not. That's the ugly twin, if you like. As this one was decommissioned, they went and built that. Clearly a different period in architectural styles.
Yeah, I was going to say, this is more like the kind of great-granddad, and that's the great-grandson, isn't it?
Yeah.
Have you ever done anything like this before?
No.
No.
Should we go inside and have a look?
This Grade 2 listed building is an iconic testament to Victorian engineering. At 50 feet high, 39 feet in diameter, it comes with a footprint of around 1,200 square feet.
Just wait for your eyes to adjust into the light.
Oh, wow.
This
God,
is
the acoustics are amazing.
Yeah.
Listen to that.
Absolutely.
That's fantastic, isn't it?
Yeah.
Look at
And
that.
believe it or not, this has taken us 9 months to get it to this state.
Yeah.
I mean, I've been involved in lots of tower designs before, and if you're looking at diameters of 4 or 5 metres, 6 metres, it's very tight.
It's really restrictive.
Yeah. There's more staircase than usable floor plate, to be honest, but this is absolutely incredible. It's massive.
Yeah, the height is the real key. But unfortunately, because it's listed, we're restricted by the openings, so we're going to have like 4.5 metres floor to floors, whereas domestic's more like 2.3, 2.4 metres.
Yeah, that windowsill's not your standard height, is it?
No.
There's something that's just so brutal about this building. Do you know what I mean? It's quite a kind of sublime space.
Yeah.
It's
really
tough,
gritty.
strong,
It's really gritty for me.
Yeah.
It's gritty. That's what I love about it.
To be able to look all the way to the top of the building like this,
Yeah.
see those amazing steels above, and actually get a great sense of the width of the space.
Yeah.
It's absolutely...
At this moment in time, just being an empty volume, it's really exciting. It's great. A blank canvas.
Andy's innovative design is to turn the tower into a home split into 4 levels. The entrance level is for storage, as they won't have an attic. The raised ground floor level will have 2 bedrooms with ensuite bathrooms, plus a laundry room. The first floor will be the living room with an open-plan kitchen dining area. The second floor will have a further 2 bedrooms, plus a master bedroom with an ensuite. A spiral staircase will lead up to a new rooftop glass extension with its own roof terrace. With the new garage alongside the tower, the overall design will be an impressive 6,000 square feet, set in an acre of land. Because Andy and Anna have thrown everything into this project, they have nowhere to live, so they've moved in with Andy's parents.
I would have not taken anything on if we hadn't got the luxury of something like this. I wouldn't have bought a static caravan and put it on site, because we kind of romantically said, oh, we could live in a caravan, but it would be absolute hell. I've got no doubt about it, and just wouldn't entertain it. So, you know, we're about 5-6 miles away, it's about 15 minutes, absolutely ideal. You know, at the end of a day, when you're absolutely knackered, you can come home, it's warm, you can have some of mum's cooking if that's what you really want, and you can get a shower and go to bed, so it's ideal.
The tower already had planning permission for conversion when they bought it, but being an architect, Andy has improved the design. But cylindrical buildings have some unique design opportunities, and I feel I can offer a different view in some areas he might have overlooked.
The level that worries me, to be honest, mate, is just the first floor level.
Yep.
It really is your kind of prime space. You know, when you think you're going to have people around, yes, they'll want to go to the observation deck, but they want to be, you know, in your living room and your dining room and your kitchen, coming around for a drink. And I'm just thinking on key areas like your living, dining room, kitchen. If the wall stopped short and there was a piece of glass there forming the junction between that new bit of stud partitioning and the old structure, means you're going to be looking through it and beyond it and having a greater sense of space.
Yeah, no, it's a good idea that kind of the new and the old kind of, you get the sense of the circle, and it passes past your viewpoint, so it takes you around the building. I like that idea.
I just think this is a building where the detail is going to make all the difference.
You know, it's good to get a second opinion here, because the last thing we want to do is miss the opportunity.
Yeah,
you know, it's a fantastic opportunity, and we want to keep the integrity and make the most of everything we've got.
Apart from all that, it's fine.
Yeah, good. So I'll give myself maybe a B+.
No. You know, I'd even go as far as saying an A-.
Thank you very much. Hopefully I don't come over too protective about it, and genuinely with the comments that George has made, I think they're all positive.
Yeah. You did really well today, because you normally don't deal well with the criticism.
Yeah, for everything I've just said there, I'm quite difficult with criticism, but, you know, when they're good comments, they're fair, you've got to take them on board.
This is without a doubt one of the most fascinating industrial buildings I've ever come across. And I'm fascinated by Andy as well, to be honest. He's kind of implied that he's not that close to this build, that he's not going to get drawn into that issue of the architect being obsessed with his own home. But I don't believe him for a single second. This guy has given everything for the last 9 months just to get the building in this state, and he's just at the very beginning, both him and Anna, of a very long and a very tough journey.
In 2009, Andy Critchlow and Anna Ferguson bought this derelict 19th century water tower in Congleton, Cheshire at auction for £100,000. It into their dream home.
I am absolutely buzzing about this building. It's just incredible. I don't think I've seen an industrial building of this scale and size in such good quality. It's just phenomenal. I mean, the diameter of the tower itself is so unique. It's so rare to get your hands on a building of this style and of this build. I mean, this central, huge central column that you've got, soaring up to the top, supporting all of those steels that would have supported the old water tank. It's just an incredible structural feat. For this to have any opportunity of being turned into a home is just, it's just an architect's dream.
After 9 months' hard slog of hacking and cutting away the building of unwanted scrap iron, they have one more piece to go before they can start the construction.
So this building's 130 years old, and there's been 9 months of super hard work done by Andy and all the guys to get all the cast iron out. And this is the very last bit. That was easier than I thought.
Oh, I've been...
Big day.
Yeah, the last piece gone.
With the tower encased in scaffolding, today is the start of a major operation to remove the roof. But with winter closing in, there's not a moment to lose.
This is a big kind of momentous occasion and piece in the whole build. The roof is literally, it's a Chinaman's hat, is how I've always referred to it. What they're going to do is they're going to cut some holes in the centre today, strap that up to the crane and then lift it off in one so it looked like a flying saucer's appeared in Congleton.
The roof has to come off because Andy has to cut out 6 huge iron beams that supported the old water tank. They're so big and dangerous, they've got to come out through the roof. Andy and his dad Cliff watch nervously.
I'm looking forward to it come off in one piece perfectly and then go back on and then come off and go back on for the next 2 weeks.
They've taken the tension on the chains at the moment, so it's just a case of easiness, gentle as they can, to clear the bolts.
It's bigger than you think, isn't it? Another tick in the box. The next task is each of these long beams will come out in 2 sections. They'll then be lifted out of the roof and straight into a skip, ready to go for scrap. It does look like a bit of an alien object in the landscape now. It's only going to be landed there for a few weeks. It will be going back on and off every day to protect it from the elements for the next couple of weeks. We're all really happy with how today's gone, but we can't forget that we've just removed the roof off a building at the start of winter, and there's lots of work ahead.
Andy and Anna's tower is a really unusual project, and they know very little about its history, so I'm determined to help them as much as possible and to find out why it was built in the first place. By the early 1800s, Congleton's population had reached nearly 4,000, and everyone in the town was very much used to having drinking water from the established wells and from the river, but very little thought had been given to the disposal of human waste and sewage.
But Congleton's problems were small beer compared to the rest of the country. As the Industrial Revolution grew, a vast number of workers were lured into already overcrowded cities. More and more people were being crammed into tenement buildings and slums. As their numbers increased, so did the sewage problem, and with that problem came a frightening amount of sickness and disease. But people just accepted it. In the winter you got colds, and in the summer you got something called English cholera. But because very few people died of it, no one really cared. However, in October 1831, the Sunderland docks were about to be enveloped by one of the most terrifying pandemics from overseas. Asiatic cholera got swept in from the east. I'm meeting local historian Stuart Miller. So Stuart, why have I had to come to my hometown of Sunderland to find out about cholera?
Well, because Sunderland was the first place in England to have an attack of this new devastating disease, which had spread all the way from northern India, across Asia, through Russia, and then eventually reached the Baltic. And in the Baltic were vessels waiting to come back to Sunderland. Sunderland was a cholera outbreak waiting to happen. In the 1830s, it was packed, overflowing, filthy, devastated by the effects of crowding.
This densely overcrowded town was the perfect breeding ground for the new strain of cholera brought into the docks by sailors. So Stuart, what would the sailors have seen when they arrived in the port of Sunderland back then?
Well, their first vision, of course, would have been a crowded river, because the berthing plans suggest that the ships were berthing maybe sometimes 7 or 8 abreast.
How would it be transferred from one person to the next? I mean, we know with the plague it was rats, but how did it happen with this form of cholera?
Well, to put it bluntly, I suppose it's what you would call shitty hands. That's the problem. When you think about people living in packed accommodation here, with very poor sanitary facilities, it was almost impossible to keep yourself clean under normal conditions. And when you've got someone who has cholera already living in close proximity to you, then it's going to be almost impossible to keep yourself apart from this.
And what was it like for someone who actually caught this vicious, deadly cholera?
Your body would darken. Eventually, I think that you would die of, I suppose, what you would call a seizure or a stroke. Eventually, the body would just collapse. There's a lovely picture of a girl called Isabella Hazard, who's known as the Blue Girl, and she was one of the very early victims of cholera. And she's called the Blue Girl because there's a drawing of her in the Lancet Medical Journal, and her face is very darkened because that was one of the effects of the cholera, the Blue Girl.
Asiatic cholera spread like wildfire, claiming 130,000 lives in Britain by the end of the 19th century. This forced the government to sit up and rethink their approach to sanitation in the nation's filthy cities. Back in Congleton, to temporarily protect the building from bad weather, bizarrely the old roof needs to be lifted on and off daily. While Andy's at his day job, Dad Cliff is overseeing the project. Andy returns at night to carry on the work. It's a major stress, but Dad thinks he can handle it.
He's always been the same, even as a schoolboy. It's never been any different. He's one of those men that I think actually if he's got 10 minutes to spare, he'll be bored. He needs to be occupied all the time. And, well, he's got one now that occupies him.
But today, Andy is behind schedule. It's getting late, and he's got to prepare the walls of the tower for the new steel beams being fitted in the morning. It's a long and laborious process, and tempers are beginning to fray between father and son.
There's a shitload of walk past on every floor. I don't care. Oh, for sake. Ow, for sake, they proper bastard blocks.
Finally, Andy and his dad have finished, and these restoration warriors can go home in peace. Although it's been a long and frustrating day, another critical deadline has been met. But soon, there's another setback. It appears that kids have broken into the site and vandalised the crane.
They wrapped all the cable around the spool for him to get the fitter out to check it out. At the moment, his computer inside his cab is registering 50 odd metres out.
This vandalism is going to cost Andy time and money he can ill afford. To hire the crane costs £450 a day. Add to that the estimated cost of £1,000 for repairs. Annoyingly, this was to be the last day the crane was needed on site. Without it, the roof can't go back on. In one of the worst snowfalls for years, the interior of Andy's tower is now left unprotected. As the crane is taken away to be repaired, all that can be done is for Andy and his 62-year-old father to haul ropes and canvas to the top of the tower to try and erect a temporary cover.
Come on, ropes.
Just a few days before Christmas, Andy and Anna's future home is snowed in.
It is mindless that people don't appreciate, you know, a stone throw through a window, just what havoc it can cause.
In December 2009, Andy Critchlow and Anna Ferguson bought this derelict 19th century water tower in Congleton, Cheshire for £100,000 at auction. With the remaining £200,000 from the sale of their previous house, they hope to turn this Victorian edifice into their dream home. Despite the severe weather and vandalism on site, the critical job of removing the old iron girders and replacing them with new steel ones is on track.
It's an unbelievably exciting day. This is where all the steels are turning up, that we're dropping in through this massive crane right through the top of the old roof. So all that steelwork will support the new timber floors that will be installed. But it's really a case of adapting the building to make that steelwork fit.
Okay, just take the weight off, Brian.
When you think of most restoration projects, it's kind of tinkering, you know, brushing away the flecks of paint and being very gentle with the old building because you don't want to damage it or cause any disruption. But not this one. This building is so tough and so hard. What I love about it, it's like a celebration of this area's hardcore, brutal industrialism.
When I first met Andy and Anna, I suggested a change to their kitchen design, which included a glass panel that could be used on all floors.
If the wall stopped short and there was a piece of glass there forming the junction between that new bit of stud partitioning and the old structure, it means you're going to be looking through it and beyond it and having a greater sense of space.
I'm interested to see if he took my ideas on board.
Immediately, I went back to the plans and the drawings and started to incorporate them. And in fact, we're standing in perfect position for the glass slot idea.
Yeah, so the vertical glass, so that the new wall, when it comes to meet the curved wall, there's a divide.
You can see through and you can see the space.
Yeah.
And I think the head of this stair here would be one of those partition walls. I think it'd be perfect here. So yeah, I think we'll go ahead with that. And certainly it's built into the schedule of works now. If we can't afford it in the end, it gets boarded over.
Glass goes in.
Absolutely.
If you can't afford it, it doesn't. That's a good way of doing it.
Yeah.
That's perfect. You've made provision for it.
Made
That's the most
provision for
important thing.
all the suggestions, yes.
With the tower now beginning to take shape and look like a home, I've decided to discover more about its history. Now, despite the outbreak of cholera and the death of over 130,000 people, very little was actually done to clean up Britain. Sanitary conditions in places like Congleton still remained largely medieval. Now, in 1839 in the UK, for every one person that died of either old age or violence, 8 people died of disease. But there were a few Victorian reformers who at last managed to make the connection between diseases like cholera and water. Edwin Chadwick managed to persuade Parliament that better hygiene would not only prevent disease, but also lead to a healthier workforce. Influenced by this argument, in 1848, an Act was passed by Parliament. I'm going deep into the archives of the Palace of Westminster to discover more.
What's incredible about this room is you've got every single act ever created from 1497, all beautifully handwritten, like this one, on sheepskin. As soon as you open the act, the first words that you see, in Norman French at the very top, is Le Reine de Vaux, which basically translates as the Queen wishes it. So it's an act passed for the provision of improving the sanitary of towers and the populous places in England and Wales. And it's expected that the supply of water to all towers and places improve the quality of sewage, drainage, re-cleansing and paving. I'm in this room with this piece of history, the first Public Health Act that defines the improved sanitary conditions of England and Wales.
In the early 1850s, there was another cholera outbreak. In 1858, with the excrement of nearly 2.5 million Londoners being emptied from cesspits directly into the Thames, it was getting clogged up, and the stench was unbearable. Known as the Great Stink, Parliament's windows were covered in drapes soaked in chloride and lime to keep the fumes out. The government even considered leaving the capital. Things had to change, and it took a fantastic feat of Victorian engineering to come up with the solution that still exists today: the London sewers.
With 10,000 people dying from the Great Stink of London and from the cholera epidemic, something desperately had to be done. London's first chief engineer, Joseph Balzet, came up with a fantastic underground sewage system for the city. It stretches for over 1,000 miles and had a radical impact on all the inhabitants of London. What was fantastic is that London no longer was a public sewer. This would have incredible ramifications that would be felt in every single town and city across the UK, including Congleton. In 1875, a new Public Health Act was drawn up, and this time it had teeth. So we go from all of these beautifully handwritten acts to all of these, which were created from 1850, where they were all printed. And in here, we've got an incredibly important document: privies and water closets. I mean, you cannot get a more important thing when it comes to public sanitation than the everyday household loo. And it says here, it shall not be lawful newly to erect any house or to build any house pulled down or below the ground floor without a sufficient water closet or earth closet, or privy and an ash pit, furnished with proper doors and coverings, and rightly so, I think. Any person who causes any house to be erected or rebuilt in contravention of this enactment shall be liable to a penalty not exceeding £20. If you like, this forced local authorities to up their game. They had to have health inspectors, medical inspectors, and they were pushed and pushed to provide the very best of sanitation, hygiene, sewage systems, and water. There's no doubt about it, this document is very much the Magna Carta of sanitary legislation. Only 6 years after this act was put in place, the Congleton Water Tower was built. If it wasn't for the act, the building would never have existed. Designed by engineer William Blackshaw at a cost of £13,000, construction started on the tower in 1881. And 130 years later, the tower is being brought back to life again. So the last time I was here, it was about 3 foot of snow and pretty miserable conditions on site for everybody. But today, beautiful blue sky, fantastic spring day, and we've got the boys' toys out. The crane's back. So how's it all looking?
We're pretty much cleaned out, ready for the fit-out to start as soon as we're wind and watertight. Anna's a bit nervous of it every time she comes up and down.
Why?
I've got a slight fear of open staircases.
Fears are there to be conquered.
My fear, apparently.
Yeah, fears are there to be conquered.
This space is absolutely brilliant.
This is the final look down.
Is one hell of a drop. That is unbelievable. You can't get more dramatic than that. It was worth sacrificing the floor area for, wasn't it?
Absolutely, absolutely.
Really looking forward to this. Is it as good as I imagined?
It's a bit misty today because of the sun.
Come on, well, it's bloody brilliant. Bloody hell. Here it is. First bit of glass. Look at that. I find it an absolute pleasure and a privilege to see such a historic piece of architecture being beautifully transformed into something fresh, new, ecological, innovative. Yeah, you can't get more environmental than recycling an old building.
In the restoration of this tower, Andy's energy and single-mindedness has been the driving factor. It can appear at times that this passion excludes everyone else, even Anna.
I'm trying to get involved as much as possible.
Is it coming together the way you imagined it would be?
I don't really know what I imagined, because it was really Andy's vision.
You're looking forward to living in it?
I can't quite picture that yet. It doesn't really feel like a home yet.
I always know from him it's about the kind of bigger vision. You know, the drama of the staircase and the practical, functional side of getting this building together. Because in some respects, he's not just architect, but he's project manager, isn't he?
Yeah, he's everything, yeah.
So...
Oh, he's involved in every little detail.
Everything?
Everything.
Switch
All-consuming,
blades,
everything.
electrics,
Every single tiny detail.
paint
It's him.
colours,
Yeah.
the lot.
Yeah.
He seems really tough and he seems really driven, but he also seems really stubborn.
Not hard to please. He wants things done his way. That's what he keeps telling me. So...
But it seems to me like he's so controlled and driven that anything less than perfect would be a sign of weakness.
Yeah, I think you're probably right.
Now that the engineering side of converting this industrial building is complete, I think it's time for Anna to get involved in the interior design and fit out.
That's the girly bit, yeah, that's where I come in.
Oh, is it you doing that? That's good.
Are you going to let me?
Yeah, but give me a rest. Get on with it.
Right. We can stop being so control freak.
Yeah, whatever.
Oh, I think it's going to be a nice family home, hopefully. It's definitely big enough.
Yeah.
Probably somewhere we can settle down.
So far, this building project's going incredibly well, and that's down to one person, Andy. He's so well organised and driven, it's exactly what this restoration project needs. But as it gets to the end of the project and the detail of kitchens, bathrooms, fixtures and fittings, I think Andy might struggle. To make this project a success, I think he needs to bring Anna into the fold.
In December 2009, Andy Critchlow and Anna Ferguson bought this derelict 19th century water tower in Congleton, Cheshire for £100,000. Despite the terrible weather and damage caused by vandals, the major heavy work is completed. It's time for the interior fit-out.
We're on with partitions. This is the first floor and this is pretty much done now, and then the guys are working up the different levels.
But Andy is a man who is driven to the exclusion of almost everyone around him, and that sometimes includes Anna.
It just seems a little bit crazy going from like a 4-bed detached house to a water tower.
To give Anna some inspiration, I'm taking her to a completed tower restoration.
Here,
Oh, wow.
super giant size water tower. I think it's quite good to see somewhere like this where you've got so many rooms split on so many different levels,
Right.
how they're organised and all the
Yeah.
functional, practical things that you've got to think about to make it work.
Yeah, that Andy won't think about.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Come on in. What's quite interesting, from a very domestic point of
Right.
view, is they've got this full-on vacuum air conditioning system. But if you want to vacuum the entire property,
Yeah.
you can just plug in at any point in the house, so you don't have to lump a big hoover everywhere to hoover every floor. You just plug in a tube and it automatically kicks in, hoover all up, and then the dust comes all the way down to the ground floor.
Well, that's pretty cool. That's good.
Yeah.
I was already thinking about where am I going to keep the hoover and then lugging it up and downstairs.
So on this level,
Right.
kitchen.
Ooh.
The other thing is intercom system.
Oh, right.
Because obviously if they're on top floor and someone's down here, pick that up, push the button, have a chat with someone on the floor. Have you got that?
Don't think we're going for that. I think we're just going for the old-fashioned shouting up and down.
Andy's quite good at that.
Yeah, he's very good at shouting.
What they've done quite cleverly in this place, because the staircase is off to one side, the remaining
so you've
spaces
got
on
those
each
little
side
spaces,
is
yeah.
all storage. This is the absolute right time now, if Andy hasn't done it already, is to think about integrated storage. You're looking at me as if to say he hasn't really done that. See what architects do, right? All architects, and I'm as bad as the next one, they get super excited about, look at the staircase, and look at the light, and look at the space, and look how beautiful it is. And I'm slightly worried that Andy will get so absorbed in that side of the building project management, he's going to think about the practical, simple, but efficient things that you need to do right for it to work. Things like laundry. You don't want to be up and down stairs all the time with laundry baskets from bedrooms down to utility spaces. So you could even think about putting in a laundry chute, which I bet he's forgotten about.
Oh, right.
Yep. You can literally just lift up a hatch on each level or on bedroom level. You could just chuck it all down.
So I could just chuck it down the stairs.
Yeah. When you're upstairs and he shouts at you from the ground floor, you can just chuck dirty laundry at him. He's been too much of an architect. He's probably forgotten about all these very sensible things that you should take into account in a family home. You know, the architecture of making the spaces look beautiful, I think he's nailed that.
Yeah.
It's about the practical
How we
side.
actually use the room, so those kind of things are definitely important. Like taking shopping up and down, sorting out the laundry, things like that, hoovering, the cleaning, all those things that I'll be doing.
If Andy's promised that you're going to be in that house for the next 10 years...
He has.
Well,
He's promised to me.
Yeah, well, things are going to change, aren't they?
Definitely a family home. It's big enough. It's got enough rooms for kids. Yeah, it's in my mind. It's something I'm thinking about. Hopefully, Andy's on the same wavelength. I think Andy's probably thinking it more of a bachelor pad.
You can't think of it like a bachelor pad. It's got to be a proper
we have
family
to
home.
think about the future now, don't we?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And that's what Andy and Anna's tower is now close to becoming. Ironically, it was Congleton's population increase and demand for homes in the mid-19th century that created the need for our tower in the first place. My journey into the story of this tower has taken me from the Sunderland cholera epidemic to the Great Stink of London and the Parliamentary Archives. Without these extraordinary Victorian public health acts, which would help to protect Congleton's population of nearly 11,000, our tower would never have been built in 1881. The tower worked on the most simple principle you could ever possibly imagine. It would collect nearly 50,000 gallons of water from down in the town, from the existing wells and streams and rivers, and that would be pumped all the way uphill to the higher ground, up to its 50,000 gallon tank. And then that water would come all the way back down again under great pressure to supply the town and the population, all the houses. This water tower was in effect one big giant toilet system. The problem was, this building only really had a lifespan of around 50 years. A new reservoir was built, a new tower was built, and unfortunately, our beautiful Victorian tower became redundant. What I've always liked about this restoration project is its daunting scale and ambition. It's taken someone with determination like Andy to face this enormous challenge of converting it into a home. Sadly, many of our great old industrial buildings are left abandoned and unloved because of their sheer size, or they are simply unsuitable for residential conversion. But after only a few years of hard graft and dedication, Andy and Anna have finally finished this restoration, and I'm dying to see it. Morning!
Nice to see you.
How are you? You alright?
How are you?
Are you all done and finished?
Just about.
Yeah, all done.
Welcome back.
Well done, mate. Yeah, really good. This is unbelievable. That is a great space. What a beautiful space. It just works really well, doesn't it? The modern white floors being slotted in
against the curved old brickwork, all cleaned up.
Old, crashed, new.
I love it. Should we go up and have a look?
Yeah, of course. Go on, Anne, I'll lead the way.
It's jaw-dropping to think that when I first came here a year ago, this was just an empty shell. Today, as we go up the stairs, I'm struck by the fact that when you convert a round, tall building, it's always an architectural struggle not to lose too much of the space with the new staircase. So I'm really intrigued to see how Andy has made use of the space on the first floor for the spare bedrooms.
The litmus test of whether a building's finished is whether the spare room's done, I think, for me.
Spare room number 1. Number 2 looks just the same on the other side of that.
Done?
Absolutely.
It looks beautiful. Really, really beautiful. Nice and simple.
Yeah,
not over the top at all.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
beautifully done. I think the shape of the rooms is just spot on because you've got all of this perfectly planned bedroom, and then tucked in here, which is your kind of big service core, you've got all the bathrooms and services.
I'm still surprised there's no lift.
I see what you mean about the stairs now. Just keep you fitter and fitter.
As we climb to the second floor, I love how the exposed brickwork meets the clean lines of the steel staircase and the new white walls.
Into the living room.
Amazing. This is great.
This is a nice space.
Oh, it's fantastic, isn't it?
Yeah.
Literally goes on and on and on and on and on around the corner.
Follow the curve and it's all the way around.
It actually works really well, doesn't it? Because you've got little work area over there, desk, computer right next to the window, seating area here, dining round there. Just in this area alone, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 windows, giving glimpses in all of those 6 different directions. This is lovely. Really, really nice. It just flows beautifully. With, you know, you come in and you've got entrance area, seating area, dining table, and keep going round the curve, and you've got this.
I feel this kitchen really works, and I love the way that Anna has put all the work surfaces along the curved wall as it embraces the space and celebrates the windows of the building.
I mean, that's not a bad place to wash dishes, is it, really?
It's fantastic.
You know, standing there washing a dish, looking out to that view.
Can't complain at that.
Well, if you're going to wash dishes, then you might as well do it in a beautiful place in the house.
Surprisingly, as we climb to the third floor, I notice Anna didn't go for some of the practical things I thought they'd need, which I showed her at the completed tower we visited. So there's no intercom, fancy vacuuming system, or even a dumbwaiter.
Come on in.
Master bedroom.
Yes.
It's great.
It's our space.
Same shape as the other rooms downstairs.
Absolutely.
All logical, all very simple, all makes sense.
Bathrooms in the same place, drainage works fine, you know it.
But that repetition kind of just makes sense. It's logical. It keeps the cost down.
With the staircase taking out a third of the floor plan, Andy's been left with similar spaces on each floor. And I love the way he's been forced to work with the cylindrical fabric of the building. What was once just a conical roof is now a fantastic space. That extraordinary panoramic vista can be enjoyed for the first time.
The bit that I've been waiting for.
Oh, well, I hope it's not a disappointment.
I've been waiting for that. I even don't even want to look yet to just reveal it all. I'm that excited by it. That is unbelievable.
Looks good, doesn't it? It does look good.
As an architect, for me, this is what true restoration is about. Adding 21st century materials which respect and celebrate the old.
That is just magical. You can see for miles. I mean, that is to just die for. And the glass floor.
Yeah, your glass floor.
You did it!
Jump up and down.
It's amazing! See, my kids would just be lying on that all the time going, look. I'm glad you did it. It stops this level from being like a kind of self-contained unit on the top.
Completely isolated.
It's got that visual link downstairs,
absolutely.
which makes the space even more special, really. Unusual choice of flooring, I have to say. I'm surprised by that.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Not my choice.
What, the boss?
Yeah.
That's my choice.
Anna chose this. This is Anna's beach, as you've referred to it a couple of times.
Well, I'm from Devon.
Can we step outside? What's the best door to get out of?
Entirely up to you. Let's go for this one.
It's amazing. Isn't it?
Yeah.
It's very fun.
It's just
View's nothing to do with us, but it's fantastic.
Amazing. It's brilliant. When this building was built, with its industrial use, purely functional really, just how do we provide water for all the people in this area? Healthy drinking water for people in this area. And now it's a house.
I was always struck by the beauty of this Victorian structure, the extraordinary interior space and the brutality of the building. As custodians of the tower, I want Andy and Anna to remember that industrial heritage and one day pass it on to future generations.
It's a little present for you, the history of the building. Done a huge amount of research about the background to this and why it was built and who built it. And it's all here for you. Little memento for you to have down next to the front door.
Awesome.
William Blackshaw, the surveyor. And then all about cholera, the disease that really changed everything. And then the crisis in the UK at Sunderland. The lid coming off, big day that.
That's an awesome shot.
Yeah, it's a great
I've
shot.
not seen that before.
Congratulations.
That's
mate.
fantastic. Cheers, George.
Absolutely fantastic.
Really appreciate it.
You've done
Thank
an
you.
amazing job.
He's done it.
There you go. Happy days. Cheers, everyone.
Cheers.
Congratulations. It seems kind of appropriate to be drinking something liquid at the top of a water tower, doesn't it? I'm absolutely staggered by Andy's determination on this project. He's been ruthless, absolutely focused, and he knew exactly what he wanted. And with the help of Anna and all the family, they've achieved the most beautiful building. What I'm more amazed about is the reason why this was built was to allow this town to thrive. And now it's the most beautiful home.
I've come to the picturesque Cumbrian village of Gamblesby. Set in the North Pennines, this village was once part of the Anglican Church's fight against the rise in popularity of Methodism in Victorian Britain. And it was this church that was at the vanguard of that fight. Built in 1868 and called St John's, it's a mixture of architectural styles and is loosely based on the Victorian Gothic revival. For over a century it served its parish, but for the last 8 years it's lain empty after the church failed to find a community use for it. Put up for sale with residential planning permission, it was bought by Phil Evans and Joanne McGurr, who have a vision to restore this abandoned Victorian building into their dream home.
We decided to come and see it because we've seen it advertised on the internet, and then as soon as we drove into the village we really loved it.
You sit there at home and you look at the TV and you think, I could do that. We're taking a beautiful building. We want to bring it into the 21st century and make sure that it's, you know, that the job that we do secures it for another 100 years.
I think it was such a unique opportunity to make a dream house.
We can bring the building back to life. You know, we can make our dream come true, really.
31-year-old Phil Evans is a part-time university academic researcher. The family live 80 miles away, and Phil regularly travels to China to sell scientific glass products, which can keep him away from home for weeks at a time. Joanne, also 31, is an accounts manager, but is currently on maternity leave with 3-month-old Hattie. While Phil and Joanne have done up properties before, they've never tackled a restoration of this size. They bought the church for £128,000, which they raised by increasing their mortgage on their home in Chorley, Lancashire. Although they have planning permission, as the church is a Grade 2 listed building, they've taken a big gamble, buying it without having a structural survey on the roof and spire. With no equity left in their house, they've secured an £86,000 self-build mortgage, which they can only access once they've made the building wind and watertight. But to do this, they've taken out a high-interest personal loan of £25,000 to kickstart the build. I love the architecture of churches and the interesting spaces they provide for residential conversion. I also like the challenge of doing something interesting with a spire.
Hi, you must be Joanne. Nice to meet you. How are you?
How you doing?
You well?
Good, thank
How's
you.
things? Hello, mate. How are you? Where are you from? You all right? Tell me a little bit about what you've bought.
Victorian period, Grade 2 listed. For me, I think it's an absolutely beautiful building. We're really passionate about Victorian architecture in particular. And I think, whilst it's not, you know, the most decorative sort of church you've ever seen, it captures, you know, nice aspects of that sort of architecture in that period.
The village setting as well as the building. So the building's really important, but also there's gorgeous buildings everywhere, but it's being part of a community in a village.
When we saw this place, it was just you know, there was no question that it's just perfect.
Before the project has even started, Phil and Joanne have to make an important decision. With both of them living and working over 80 miles away in Chorley, they've chosen to remain in their house while the build is going on. But they need someone to oversee the project.
I'm excited.
They've decided that their future brother-in-law, Alex, will project manage the whole restoration. Although Alex is trained as an architect, he's new to the business of overseeing an on-site building project.
Otherwise it'll tip on you.
He's going to live in a caravan next to the church.
Ah, my new home.
You've picked the perfect time of year to start the building project. You know, just kind of coming up towards October, the dark nights, the miserable weather.
Exactly.
And you're going to move into a caravan through the entire winter. Yeah. You couldn't have planned it better.
The church is a Grade 2 listed building that comes with restrictive planning and building permission. With its 52-foot high spire, a footprint of over 1,100 square feet, and a ground area of just over 1/3 of an acre, with no complications of a graveyard, this building is full of potential. It's estimated that on average, around 20 Anglican churches are closed for worship every year. And if an alternative use can be found, they are then deconsecrated. Once St. John's was declared redundant, the bishop directed that the altar should be burned and the font broken up and buried, so they couldn't be used for non-Christian purposes.
Well, here we are.
Oh, wow. Amazing. Oh, incredible. God, it's a brilliant space, actually. Really lovely. You're going to keep this, yeah?
Going to keep that, yeah.
Just make demands to the kids. Stop doing that. And stop doing that as well. This is absolutely stunning. I mean, the fact that you've got this beautiful curve right at the end of the... It's quite unusual, actually. You know, there's not that many churches have got this.
Not, yeah, with the
Not
curve.
that many. So what are the roles and responsibilities? Who's doing what on the build? How's it going to work?
Pretty much we've got Alex here, project managing on a day-to-day, trying to work with the builders to best utilise their time and their abilities.
I'm pretty much going to be Phil and Joanne's eyes on site. I need to be able to make certain decisions, you know, with them not being here.
But do you have any idea how much this is going to cost you?
The basic building, 100,000.
100,000. That's you said there's some contingency in there. Is that with contingency?
No, that's without contingency.
So what? You got 120?
About that bit more, yeah.
120.
But that's more finished, isn't it?
No. That's we've got a separate contingency, and we've got that's to get to the basic building. We've then got a further about 25 to actually then do it. You know, kitchens and those sorts of things as well.
So your budget is 125 grand, plus a contingency of
about 20.
10, 20. Okay. So you're 145.
Yeah, but no, we're 125. We're going to bring in on budget.
Is this going to be the first restoration project I ever see where the contingency money is never spent?
Yes.
Yeah.
How big a risk is it, really?
It's everything. We during this transition period, we will be mortgaged and loaned to the hilt. It's all the equity we've built up for all the work that we've done over the last 12 years together. And if something goes wrong, you know, that's it. We lose everything.
Phil and Joanne say that their design to convert the church into a dream home came about over a couple of glasses of wine. The plans were then drawn up by Alex. On the ground floor, there'll be a large hallway that leads onto a study, WC and cloakroom. This will lead onto a generous space that will be the main living area that will include a double-height dining room, store and a kitchen in the church's nave. On the first floor, there'll be a master bedroom with ensuite, plus 2 further bedrooms that have their own separate bathrooms.
I think the ground floor's spot on. Upstairs, there's a couple of things. You probably can't make the master bedroom bigger because of the way the beams are. I don't know, but I'm assuming that's why you've done it.
That's exactly
but it feels really small. The dimension on there is 2.8 metres wide, and because it's quite a deep space, it's going to feel very kind of narrow and quite confined.
Now that we've had a proper look at the spire, maybe we utilise some of the spire to create, I don't know, an upstairs library or, you know, like a chill-out area above the bedroom.
Yeah, I mean, obviously a small space can feel bigger if you do something with the ceiling. If you lift the ceiling up, a small room can have a bigger drama to it. So you're right, you've got the spire above. if you put a little staircase up to there, or you put glass in there, or do something to get
Just
light
to-
from the spire down
yeah.
into that space, it's gonna. I always make, with smaller bedrooms, to make them bigger, I normally lift the ceiling higher. It's as simple as that.
It was good to get a sort of fresh opinion from an architect.
Talking to George helped bring the building into a livable thing, and sort of talking through the size of the rooms and where the step is going to be. It just is able to visualise it more.
A couple of things he mentioned that were sort of new ways to tackle the problem, so we're certainly going to take those on board and have a look inside the church and just see what is possible.
This couple have just taken on an unbelievable amount. Seriously, they've put everything on the line financially, in terms of their time, and actually in terms of their quality of life for the next 7 or 8 months. And they've put so much trust in Alex to deliver this for them. I actually think, to be honest, it could be too much for him. I hope it's not, but with all the terrible weather that's going to come in this part of the world over the next 5-6 months, and the building being in the condition it's in, I'm just worried that it's going to be too much.
In 2010, Phil Evans and Joanne McGurr bought this 19th century church in the Cumbrian village of Gamblesby. With a restoration budget of £125,000, they hope to get an £86,000 self-build mortgage, which will release funds at certain stages of the build. However, they've not yet been granted the mortgage, so they've started the project with a high-interest loan of £25,000. To save money, they've taken on future brother-in-law Alex to project manage the build. But my earlier concerns about their inexperience are proving true when I visit site and find they've stripped the roof without giving any thought to the weather.
Seriously, mate, I'd get some tarpaulin up there as quick as you can. Because if the lads are taking that side off tomorrow, like they said they were going to be...
Yeah.
I mean, look, even the builders would be like, look, it can get wet a bit, it's fine, it'll dry out. It's not great from your point of view if you're going to have damp in there in 6-7 months' time.
Good point, yeah, it's a good point.
This is a classic example of what you shouldn't really be doing on a build. The weather is going to have a massive impact on this project. And because of costs, they haven't built a big tin roof, a big protector over the top of the church before they strip back the old tiles. They strip the tiles off, and now the water is absolutely flooding in, which means all the pews, this amazing rickety organ and everything, it's just getting absolutely knackered. It's not good.
Having finally taken on my advice, Alex springs into action.
Oh, brilliant. That's really good. Thank you. So it's three rolls, 25 by 4 metres, that clear plastic. Right, so basically what we're doing, we're getting sheets of heavy-duty plastic, basically, and we're going to try and cover up the whole of the exposed bits of roof, just to try and keep it dry, basically. And then what we'll do is wrap some around the spire as well, just to try and keep it dry, basically.
With Alex at last organising the weatherproofing, Phil takes me up to see the spire. But once up there, I find that his problems are more than just a few sheets of tarpaulin.
Phil, this spire's bust, to say the least, isn't it? Oh
Yep.
my God. Actually, to us, they're oh,
Yeah.
That's a 100-odd-year-old solid oak.
As we peeled it back, we realised that this side must have basically taken the brunt of the weathering, and the whole side is shot.
What are you going to do?
What are we going to do? Well, we're still weighing up the options.
Get someone like a good engineer to check it out, to really look at the temporary supports and what it's going to need, because that's going to be really well designed. The last thing you want is to pull out some of these supports and the whole thing goes. That'd be a disaster for everything.
I'm really concerned that Phil's £25,000 high-interest loan to fix the roof and spire, which will then release the much-needed self-build mortgage, is not going to be enough. If the money runs out, this build will grind to a halt.
Although St John's is a humble rural church, all buildings have a history, and I'm intrigued to see why it's been deconsecrated in the first place and planning permission granted to turn it into a home. Now, local records show that Phil and Joanne's church was built in the middle of Gamblesby in 1868. But what I can't quite understand is the mother church for the area, which is St Michael's Church, where there's been a church on the site since the 11th century, is only 2 miles away. With such a small rural population, I can't understand why they built another church so close.
I'm hoping the style of Gothic Revival architecture will give us a clue. The classic hallmarks are the lancet windows, the spire, and buttresses, which help support the walls. This architecture is a throwback to the Church of England's medieval roots and was a reaction to a time of uncertainty when the established Church of England was under threat from the new faiths such as Methodism, which were popping up all over the country, trying to cater for the new urban masses of the Industrial Revolution.
And just looking at this old Ordnance Survey map of Gamblesby, the mystery of St John's Church is beginning to unravel.
Just 50 yards away from St John's is a site where John Wesley, the founder of Methodism, built a chapel in 1784. When this humble building was expanded nearly 80 years later, the local vicar felt compelled to respond by building our church.
So it looks like our Gothic Revival church was built by the Church of England to rival its neighbouring impostor.
To find out how the Church of England reacted to the threat of these new faiths, I've come to Oxford, the 19th century centre of the Anglican faith, to see one of the finest examples of Gothic Revival architecture, which was built just 9 years before our church in Gamblesby.
What an unbelievable building. It is so stunningly designed, finished around 1859 by one of the best Gothic Revival architects, George Gilbert Scott. This was one of many churches built through the boom time of 19th century church construction. The Anglican Church was feeling threatened by other religions like Methodism. Buildings like this reasserted the Anglican authority.
A leading expert in ecclesiastical architecture is Oxford University's Professor Dermot McCulloch.
It's such a powerful, strong architecture, isn't it, Dermot?
Well, yes, I mean, it's trying to make a statement. The Church of England is the big beast on the block. There are other churches around, but this is the business, and this is the church which has inherited medieval architecture. But, I mean, Catholics, the free churches, the Methodists, they're all now competitors, and the Church of England wants to say, no, we are still the Church of the nation.
And how much would a building like this have cost back in 1859?
Well, I happen to know that Exeter College Chapel was £15,000. In their money, of course.
It must be one of George Gilbert Scott's best.
Yes, just so magnificent Victorian self-confidence, isn't it? We have to say that all the other churches were hugely raising money at the time for their churches.
And that's why there was this enormous building boom, I suppose, of the 19th century.
Yeah.
And it just shows how this architecture really worked. You can see where the money was spent.
This is really the Church of England at its most triumphal.
It's winter, and things are not so triumphal at our church. Although Phil and Joanne have finally got their mortgage of £86,000, Gamblesby has been hit with some of the heaviest snow in years. The crane that's been ordered to lift the renovated spire to the top of the tower can't get through the blocked road. And if that's not bad enough, when Phil came back from a trip to China, he found out that the new spire and roof has cost an estimated £40,000, which is £15,000 over what he budgeted for.
How much have you spent?
If I pay all the bills...
To date?
To date, 75,000, maybe 80,000. obviously there's things happening today, things constantly happening, but yeah, 75,000.
You're 80 grand, 75 to 80 grand in already?
Yes. This spire has knocked us back and taken up a good chunk of the budget. It's taken up all the contingency and it's eating into other bits of the budget now.
You haven't got the roof finished yet, the slate's not even on, the spire's not even on. You've got to do electrics, plumbing, God knows whatever else. Yep. Fitting floors, the lot. And I'll tell you the brutal honest truth, 40 grand ain't going to do it. No. What are you worried about?
Possibly running out of money. I think we are going to run out of money. It's how far we get.
How long are you away over the next 3 or 4 months?
I could easily be probably 2 to 3 weeks a month.
2 to 3 weeks a month over the next 3 or 4 months?
Possibly. That would be the worst case, but that's what that's what it could be.
So when I'm standing here going, you should be here, it ain't going to happen?
And not unless I can jump in a plane and fly 6,000 miles, no.
Can you not send somebody else?
No.
Although things look really bleak, Phil's pushing ahead. And with the support of his neighbours, they're attempting to get the spire in its rightful place.
Brilliant, it's all happening. We've got gritters, everyone clearing cars out the way, gear out the way, grid turning up. What I love about it, it's like all the community, from the farmer next door to the gritter guys to the crane guys, everybody has come together to make this work for the crane today. That's how big a deal it is.
The crane has finally got through, but they're now racing against the clock as there are only 3 hours of daylight left. The first job is to assemble the frame that the church spire will sit on, and that's taken longer than expected.
Well, that's it. Go for it. Yeah, we're going.
I don't think we're going to get it on today.
We'll get this on. Get this on, definitely. You've got another hour and a half, you'll get this.
This is a really complicated part of the project that has to be right, but there's not much time.
Excellent, well done. Bloody brilliant. So we're now at about 3:20. It's actually a bit later than I thought it would have been at this time. We're going to try and lift the spire on top of the frame, peg it out and mark it, lift it off again, put the frame in place, lift the spire on top, before the sun completely disappears. No chance. I'm all for a bit of optimism, but being a bit delusional doesn't really work on a building site.
In 2010, Phil Evans and Joanne McGurr bought this 19th century church in the Cumbrian village of Gamblesby. Originally, they budgeted £125,000 to complete the project. But finding that the spire was completely rotten and needed replacing, and having to compete with some of the worst weather in years, has put them seriously behind schedule. The crane is lifting the new spire into place, but the pressure's on as the daylight is fading. The lift has to be done in 2 stages. First, there's the 4-ton frame, which provides the support. Then, the spire is lifted and rests on top.
Actually, we can rotate it as well slightly to get it past the purlins.
Let me just cut some more off it.
But there's a problem. Pete and Alex have miscalculated the measurements, and it's all looking too tight.
That's it, go on. Pull, about 2 inches. Go on, that's it, and over, that's it. You tight that edge? You tight? Yeah, you're clear. You're really tight the side again, you know, Phil.
One false move, and the end gable of the church could come down. The daylight is nearly gone, and a big decision has to be made.
We're at a stage now where it's so late, it's so dark, and well, the temperature's dropped massively. We've got the main bit of the frame up on the top, which is fantastic that it fits. Ideally, we'd love to get the whole spire up and drop that on as well. I think it's too dangerous, to be honest.
Early next morning, with temperatures below 0 and another day's crane hire to pay for, Phil and his crew are back hard at it. Weighing in at over a tonne, the renovated oak spire is carefully lifted into place. Finally, after nearly 140 years, the church can boast a brand new spire, but it's come at an enormous price. In the new year, back home in Chorley, Phil and Joanne are really struggling with their budget.
We got the 30,000 as the next instalment. We still had about 3,000 left on that.
And that's to get to first fix?
That's to get to the first fix, but we had bills outstanding anyway, so we had to cover...
Their self-build mortgage has come up with a second stage payment of £34,000. But with the Spire going way over the original budget, they're facing huge financial problems.
Well, the Spire took a lot of last stage payments amount, which meant that we didn't get as much done, which means we've got a limited amount this time to get to the next stage as well. So it's just all having a knock-on effect, isn't it?
We're together now. We're having to basically plan, really strictly plan forward now, work, so that we only have the right people on site to get us to our next milestone, which is first fix.
With Phil and Joanne wrestling with their finances, I'm interested to find out how St John's was originally funded. Many of the Church of England archives are held here at Lambeth Palace in London. In 1836, an ecclesiastical commission was set up to administer all applications for new church property. So St John's would have gone through this process. The Methodist chapel in Gamblesby was enlarged in 1864. This encouraged the local Anglicans, headed by a Reverend Edward Brown, to appeal to the commissioners for funding for a new chapel of ease, so locals didn't have to walk the 2 miles to St Michael's. On 2 occasions, the financially stretched commissioners rejected the appeal for funding. This forced Reverend Brown to look elsewhere.
This incredible document here seems to be a deed, which shows, in effect, the transfer of land from the Duke of Devonshire back over to what I think would just be the parish, really. So this deed is made on the 28th day of July, 1866, between the most noble William Duke of Devonshire, of the one part, and the Reverend Edward Brown, Vicar of Addingham in the county of Cumberland.
Having the good fortune to get the deeds to the land for nothing, the local vicar set about trying to raise the funds to build his church.
So if we look at the Diocese of Carlisle, here we have Addingham, St John, Gamblesby. Finished cost of building, £1,075 and 19 shillings. From what sources were these funds derived? Voluntary contributions.
To raise £1,075 was a massive amount in those days, and although not in the same league as Exeter College, Oxford, it does show the passion and commitment local people had to protect their faith.
After all of that snow and that freezing cold weather before Christmas, we've now got this howling wind and tons of rain.
Back on site, I'm gobsmacked that they still haven't made the building wind and watertight.
Morning.
Hey,
how are you? Oh, it's always good to see the boss back on site.
Thank you.
And with a little labourer as well.
Absolutely.
Hello, mate. How are you?
All right.
It's great, actually. You start to get a feel for the proportion of the spaces, don't you?
Yes. You really
and how it's all going to work.
And how then, when you know, this space here is absolutely fantastic.
Excellent. All the stud work going on upstairs. You've got all the insulation in. You're starting to batten out up there as well, which is great. You're right. It's starting to feel. I wouldn't quite call it a home yet. But you're starting to understand the proportions of the rooms, though, aren't you?
Yes.
About your ceiling heights and the scale of rooms and how it's all starting to come together.
And how it's going to work, how we're going to use the space. It's really good.
And wind and watertight. Yes.
Almost. Yeah.
Almost.
Well,
Still not.
Just a little bit of water coming in, which is causing us a few internal leaks. But that's because we haven't got the ridge tiles and the water's getting in.
So you need to get that roof finished ASAP.
Yes.
Because there's no point in you doing all this finishing internal.
By far, that stands out. That's the critical pass is the roof.
Yeah, the weather hasn't done you any favours, has it?
None.
At all, to be honest.
It's the fitting out upstairs that I'm really interested in. I want to see if Phil and Joanne have taken my advice about the size of the bedrooms.
Getting into your master bedroom, yeah?
Up through the bath.
Bizarre, but the safest at the moment. So,
so this is your ensuite, is that right? In this space?
This is the ensuite for the master, yeah.
And then this is your master bed space?
This is the master bed space.
Which is possibly the smallest room in the entire house. But then you look up, and that is unbelievable.
Yeah.
Absolutely unbelievable. Will you be able to see all the way up to the top?
Yeah,
when it's done?
Yes,
That's fantastic, man.
And there'll be glass alongside it.
That is brilliant. Well, glass up in those rectangular sections there.
We took on board what you said, and we're going to create a mezzanine floor halfway here, so you could actually sit and read and take a look out at the view as well. So,
Brilliant.
So in spite of being the smallest room on plan, it's probably going to be the most interesting master bedroom in the county of Cumbria, probably.
Absolutely. I mean, that is so three-dimensionally dramatic.
With the build moving on, I want to find out from Phil and Alex how the finances are shaping up.
All right, numbers.
Yep.
I've got to talk money.
Yep.
You know how much I love this bit and how much you hate this bit.
I hate this bit.
Your original budget was the dreaded 125k.
Yes.
Original budget. What have you spent so far to date?
To date, everything we've got here now, £95,000.
95 grand you've spent?
Yes.
That's everything in, everything on site?
Everything on site,
All labour, all materials?
Yep, everything.
The lot?
Yep.
That's pretty good. Have you readjusted your cost plan to face the reality of what's left to do on the build? Or are you telling me you're going to do everything else for 30 grand that's left?
I'm going to try my best to do everything else for 30 grand.
Phil's confidence in his completion figure is hugely optimistic, so I'll make him and Alex work out exactly what's needed to finish the build.
33, 34, 34 and a half. Let's say it's 35 grand, just for argument's sake, because it keeps the maths easier. That means you'll have brought the whole lot in for 130k. Everything.
Yep.
Finished. If you do all this for 135 grand, I'll send you a case of champagne. I'm still unbelievably frustrated about so many things on this building project. The fact that it's still not wind and watertight is frankly ridiculous. And they're putting all these new building materials inside which are being damaged because there's still water coming in through that very unfinished roof. There is a chance that it's starting to turn a little corner. There's a chink of light at the end of the tunnel because the budget, there's still a bit of money there and the boys seem to be project managing better than they have before. The risk for them now is there enough money left to finish the entire project?
In 2010, Phil Evans and Joanne McGurr bought this 19th century church in the village of Gamblesby in Cumbria. With a projected budget of £125,000 to complete the build, their vision is to turn this church into a dream home. They've been hit by the harshest weather for years, faced a whole winter with very few tiles on the roof, and discovered that their spire needed replacing. It's put Phil and Joanne under huge financial pressure. After nearly a year of restoration, some things have changed. Phil is now spending 3 weeks out of 4 working in China, and because they need the money, Joanne has gone back to work.
Morning, you. I haven't seen you for ages.
Good to see you.
You well?
Good.
Good. So what's going on with the money?
Yeah, we had to get some additional lending.
Ouch. How much?
Another 25. I think it was mainly the contingency and the spire, and that's what everybody's, you know, oh, like when you come up in the spire, it's the first thing you see. For us, it's we just see it in figures, dollars and pounds, and it's like, oh. So,
how much did the spire cost? It was
35.
35,000. The extra money that you borrowed,
yeah,
25 grand, is
yeah.
that an extension of your mortgage? Is it a loan?
It's a
how
loan.
big? It's a loan. Shit. That's higher interest rates.
Yeah.
That's a bigger burden.
Yeah.
Because they wouldn't give you it on the mortgage.
No.
It's not a small amount of money.
Okay, George.
Well, it's not though, is it?
I know. But what can we do? We can't recoup it back from anywhere else. We can't invest any more time in the property to do any more ourselves. Because we need to continue to work to fund it, so it was the lesser of two evils. Either we stop and we do it at weekends ourselves, or we get it to a point that's finished and move in and start paying it back that way.
Why can't you just extend the mortgage at a lower interest rate?
Yeah, it's just not, it's not something we can do on the property.
Because it's not habitable yet.
Yeah.
That's the bugger, isn't it?
That's the one.
The bank will only lend or extend when it's deemed as being a habitable home, otherwise it's too much of a risk for them.
That's right. And how do you get to that point if they won't lend?
You're stuck where you are, you can't get rid of your house, you can't rent it out. So you can't release some of the equity you've got in there.
No.
And you've got a mortgage and a loan on this, which you can't move into because it's not safe.
So there's nothing really else we could do?
The build so far looks fantastic, but the pressure that Phil and Joanne have put each other under, borrowing that extra money as a loan, is just incredible. There's absolutely no doubt about it. Restoration's not for the faint-hearted.
Joanne is now managing the budget on her own while juggling her full-time job. She's decided to sell the 16 pews that came with the church at a local auction. But when we arrive, I notice they're not looking as good as they should.
Problem is, when they stripped the roof off, and the roof was leaking and leaking and leaking and leaking with water coming in everywhere, some of them have got water damaged as well, which means we're going to get even less money, which is even more annoying because it's more of a waste.
Right then, 517 is the first of the church pews. Mr. Scott points to it, the one at the front here. 24, 26, 38 pounds.
Just a bit annoying because if every single one of these were cleaned up with a standard that way.
I'm spitting feathers, just don't even say it anymore because I'm about to blow a gasket about them being clean.
And I've 20 bids. This is you.
I've 22 bid for the lot there, then it's £22. On my right and £22.
By the end of the auction, all the pews are sold, but for only £457. Joanne is not happy. She calls Phil to give him the bad news.
We're just at the auction now. We've just sold all the pews. Yeah,
All of them, yeah.
They didn't go for as high as we wanted. The auctioneer and various people have said, you know, if they had been a bit cleaner, they probably would have went for more. They would have expected them to get more.
Joanne and Phil are just under massive financial pressure now. They've got to make every single penny count, and they need to make as much cash as possible between now and the end of the build. The biggest problem for me is that Phil's away in China, she's off for work and running around all over the world as well. If there's one key golden rule on any restoration project to manage it properly, is you need to be there. Although St John's is a testament to its builders, its life as a parish church wasn't that much of a success. In all of its 134 years serving the community, all it carried out was just over 30 weddings, and all of the burials were carried out 2 miles away at its mother church, St Michael's. It might be said that in their zeal to build a church against the threat of Methodism, the people of Gamblesby let their religious fervour get the better of them, and they could have saved their money. Like many rural churches, time combined with society's lack of interest in religion and with a reducing population heralded their death knell, and this was true for St John's. In 2002, the church was made redundant and has stood empty for 8 years until Phil and Joanne decided to breathe new life into it. It's late autumn, and life has changed dramatically for our 2 restoration warriors. Although they finished the build, they're heavily in debt with huge loan repayments. And because of negative equity, they can't afford to sell their house in Chorley. And on top of that, Phil is still working in China and Joanne is 6 months pregnant. There's no doubt about it that church conversions provide some enormous challenges. Many of them are often architectural, but actually for Phil and Joanne, their biggest pressure has been financial. When I was last here in the summer, they borrowed yet another £25,000. I hope it was just enough to get this place finished. Morning.
Hey George, how you doing?
You've lost weight.
I have indeed.
Look at that, it's been dropping off you. That means you've been working hard. That's a good sign.
I haven't.
Yeah, because you've been busy doing other things.
How are you doing?
Funnily enough, hello you. You all right? It looks great from the outside.
Yep.
It looks fantastic. That looks great.
The building's brilliant.
That roof and that spire looks brilliant. How do you view it though? I mean, when you look at it, do you think, I love it? Or do you look at it thinking, that just cost too much money and nearly killed the project?
Up and down.
Up and down. Some days I arrive and look at it and think, wow, you know, we sort of took that out and imagine when the crane was here and all that business. But then other times I just see the nail in the coffin.
Don't say that. That makes it sound really bad. Should we go inside and have a look?
Yeah, lovely.
Look at that entrance hall.
I know.
Done.
Just about done. Don't touch anything because you'll get
paint all there.
You'll get paint on you.
It looks great. Can I go through?
Please do.
Great. 15 months ago, what was a dilapidated, leaking church is now an elegant living and dining room.
Look at that. You've done it.
Just about.
You've done it. I'm actually, I shouldn't sound so cynical really, but I'm surprised. With all the financial pressure you've had, you wouldn't have got this far.
That's good.
I didn't think you were going to do it.
Good.
Well, we've had to, as I said, it required a lot of effort on our part. So the floor is one major achievement. I'm absolutely over the moon with this floor. It's superb. This was bought on eBay, a job lot, drove to London, brought it back, then I had to go through the process of scraping the bitumen off every single block, running it through a table saw twice, through a chop saw twice, 7,000 times.
And where the altar once stood has now been turned into a fantastic modern kitchen.
Wow, look at that.
Amazing.
Absolutely fantastic, isn't it?
Yeah.
When you think you come through that low single-storey height, and then bang, it just opens up to that roof space. It's beautiful. It's the real payoff for the entire building. I love it. It's fantastic. And that's just leaving the space alone.
Yep.
Yeah.
You know, just not messing around with it. You didn't have to, because you've got the beautiful curve at the end. These windows have always been fantastic. Yeah. Really beautiful. Yeah. I mean, just having that stained glass in gives it that kind of sense of richness and sense of history, doesn't it? And I think the lighting's good. I think you've done it really well. Just those simple little uplighters and each individual bay up there, just gently washing that ceiling, which is a really nice thing to do, just to pick out all the architectural features of those fantastic timbers that are in the roof. You are blessed with a beautiful building.
Yeah.
You are.
Upstairs in the 2 spare bedrooms, Phil and Joanne have continued to make the best use of space. And I'm really pleased to see they've put in glass panels where the new walls meet the old ones.
I love the glass panel in the corner there.
Yeah.
Which gives that little view down to the kitchen beneath. Quirky and unusual, but it's good. The 3 bits of glass work really well because you've got the vertical panel giving the view into the double height space. You've then got a fairly standard skylight, but gets a lovely top light in there. And then you've got the little arched window there where you've covered it over the panel of glass. So it's like 3 sources of light.
And it gives lovely light in the evening from downstairs, that one. So
beautiful.
Nice.
Along the corridor, I'm dying to see what they've done to the master bedroom.
Oh, it's great. Oh, it's really lovely. It's really lovely.
Do you like it?
Yeah, it's beautiful. I mean, what a beautiful, romantic, snug, cosy room.
Yeah.
Right in the top of the building.
We've just tried to make it more of a wee apartment, you know, with its own entrance and its own
just to feel
its own little ensuite in there, which is great. You trip over this all the time, mate.
Absolutely. And bang your head on the top as well.
Bang your head on the top. Apart from that, it's great.
It's great, yeah.
Can I have a look in Phil's den?
Is that all right? Please, it's boys only.
Really? What, have you got a little mini bar up there?
Yeah.
Really?
Oh my word! That's amazing!
Do you like it?
Brilliant! Oh, come on. I mean, that is absolutely fantastic.
But Phil and Joanne are in a conundrum. Their total rebuild cost stands at £170,000. That's £45,000 more than they budgeted for. The replacement spire and roof blew the budget, and financially they're stuck, unable to sell their house in Chorley. To finish the build, Phil has given up his university job, and with Joanne being pregnant, they've got some serious decisions to make.
What are you going to do?
We're probably going to have to sell the place. We've just simply spent too much money. We've spent far too much money. With the sacrifice we had to make with me stopping work, the fact that Joanne's going to be on maternity leave next year and she's going to have a reduced wage, we simply can't afford to service the debt that we now have riding on this place. So we've got a mortgage on this place, we've borrowed from family, and we also have a personal loan each and credit cards as well.
Ouch. There's no other options there, is there?
Actually, there is one other option. We're looking at selling it, but given the state of the market,
One of the things we had an estate agent around yesterday.
Right.
One of the things we were talking about was potentially letting it or holiday letting it. That way, there is a slim chance that if we could get it right and it added up, that in a few years' time we could knock enough off the mortgage that we could then get up here.
Despite Phil and Joanne's problems throughout this build, the local community have helped them to finish the project. Today, they've come to celebrate this restoration.
I went to Sunday school here and I was one of the organists. I think they've done a good job. I think it's very nice.
You were the last vicar of this
last vicar of this church, yeah. It's sad that we can't use it as a church, but great that it's going to still be, well, it still looks like as part of the community, and it's no doubt been really well done.
Throughout my research into the history of St John's, it was fascinating to discover that the local community were the driving force in getting it built in the first place. As custodians of the church, I want Phil and Joanne to remember that history so that one day they can pass it on to future generations. So Phil and Joanne, a little present for you.
Excellent.
A book.
Yay!
The history of the building. And actually, more importantly, not just the history of the building, but the history of your journey with the building as well.
Wow.
All the history of the building, all the drawings we could find, any maps about its history, the whole story of it, even being an ancient site before the church even turned up.
Wow, look at that.
All started.
Oh my goodness.
Remember that day, pushing the caravan? You did it. Well done.
Cool.
Congratulations.
Cheers, thank you.
Fantastic. I think a round of applause for that. Don't you think? They saved the building. Hey! But I think we should do a huge toast to Phil and Joanne because I think they have saved the building and hopefully it'll stand here for at least another couple of 100 years. To Phil and Joanne.
Cheers. Thank you.
Cheers.
Cheers.
What Phil and Joanne have done here is quite incredible. They've proven that restoration is definitely not for the faint-hearted. They've been under the most unbelievable financial pressure. I just hope that they can sell their existing property, clear some debts and move into this church because they